was shit. And I'm just like, oh,
That's
dude, like when
funny.
I'm calling games at the baseball field, I'm like so conscious on like not swearing.
That's
I really have to
that's funny.
like hone it in.
How do I mute myself? I just want to make sure I'm muted. Hold on. You have my stream on, right? I'm sure you can hear me.
Yeah, I have it.
Alright.
Oh,
What? What's up?
I literally heard myself swear on the thing.
Oh, dog, no.
It's all right.
Hold on. Okay, wait. Stay on.
Wait, no, it's delayed.
Is it?
Yeah,
Strange.
hold on.
Let me go. Let me go watch myself.
It's all right.
Hold on. Okay, wait. Stay on. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Football is back, baby. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
To anyone who is watching this, my name is Victor Sepulveda. And to my left on the screen, it's actually on my right, we have
Joe Miller.
Joe Miller, or Joe Bald as his Instagram
Yeah,
handle.
Joe Bald. Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually not bald. He actually has a lot of hair underneath that hat. You just would never know because he's got a hat.
Tom, look at how big my eyebrows are.
Yeah, look at that. All right. So as y'all can see today, this is clearly the it's like a commentary, just kind of going over players that we're interested in, players that we want to see for the Hall of Fame game. Most of them are rookies. Most of them are veterans that are looking just to but to become backups, just have a role. Everyone wants to be on the 53-man roster, and even when you're on the 53, there's no guarantee you stay on it. So the preseason's a really good way to showcase your talent, good way to put your name on the map, especially in front of the coaches. And that's exactly what we're going to be watching here for today. Obviously, there's a bunch of Chargers rookies that I'm excited for. There's a bunch of rookies that my good friend Joe right here is excited for. So as the game goes on, we'll start breaking it down. For right now, I'll have Joe take it over and tell us who's he's excited for with the Lions.
Well, I think the main thing is the quarterback battle. I think who's going to get that second string spot, Kyle Allen or Hendon Hooker. This will be Hendon's third year in the NFL, and he's been okay at times. I think at first he really struggled understanding Ben Johnson's playbook, but I think that now with Ben Johnson gone, I'm interested to see how he will adapt to not necessarily a new offense, because I kind of think that was a lot of it was Dan Campbell's offense, and Ben Johnson was just, he was able to be a little more creative with the offense. So I'm excited for the quarterback battle. And then I think what everyone is excited for in Detroit is Isaac Tesla, their third round pick this year. A lot of people think he was a reach. I don't think he was a reach. I think he's big. He has the skills, I think, that are needed to be a wide receiver in the NFL, and we're hoping he's like the next Puka Nacua almost. So I'm excited to see what he looks like out there.
Yeah, that's really interesting, And then obviously, receivers, you could never have too many receivers on a team, but you also need that. You said the guy who drafted Tesla, he was drafted what? He's O lineman or D lineman?
The Lions, they drafted a defensive lineman with their first pick this year. It was let's see, I'm drawing a blank. There's some Tyleik Williams.
Okay.
From Ohio State. So, and he looked, if you watched any of the college football playoffs, he was dominant in the front and in the trenches for Ohio State. He can play the nose tack, he can play D tackles, and his thing, like, he can pass rush as well, with also establishing a dominant front and protecting the run.
That's good, yeah. No, and then obviously the Lions, they needed a little help after Hutch went down last year. They kept bringing in players, but then half of their defense ended up on IR, and none of them really came back. A lot of them had season-ending injuries, so we're really excited for the Lions to actually have, hopefully, a complete, healthy team this season. Obviously, it's never really an option. Everyone gets hurt. People have high ankle sprains, they have knee injuries, turf toe, hell, even like a broken finger,
Yeah.
So it's all a matter of how bad is the injury and how safe do you want to play, especially with the Lions, considering they've had probably the most injuries in the last 2 years.
Yeah, they had 18 guys on the IR last year just on the defensive side of the ball, and all of them were like ACLs, MCLs, broken bones. Yeah. Like last year, Carlton Davis broke his jaw.
Yeah, and that's not that it's unheard of, but it's one of those rare injuries that you don't really see happen in football, which you would think there'd be more of, considering there's a whole bunch of helmet clashes.
Yeah.
So
then I was at the game against Jacksonville where Anzalone broke his arm. It's like broke his forearm. It's like, oh my gosh, like right when you think, you get through 2 weeks and no one really getting injured, and then bang, they just start back up again. And then, Hutch broke his leg and I think it was week 6 or 5 against Dallas, and
Yeah.
he is at 8 sacks already. So he was running away with defensive player of the year, and then that happens. And then he still held the sack lead up until week 10.
Yeah.
And he hadn't played in 4 weeks, so. But I'm excited to get this new season started, and hopefully they stay healthy. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I am going to. Yeah.
Chargers.
Wrong button. Sorry, y'all. If y'all heard that. Chargers wise, first round they drafted Omarion Hampton. Super excited for him. Super excited to see if he is gonna be. Essentially, he's gonna start as RB1. I don't think Najee Harris is gonna come back in time. I don't think he'll probably be back until week 4. And a prediction I had a couple of weeks ago when the Chargers drafted Omarion was right around week 6 is when I believe that he was going to start taking more of the RB1 role over Najee. And so with the way that Najee's been kind of hidden, and if you're a Charger fan or if you're an NFL fan watching the Chargers at all, he's been coming to practice or training camp with a beanie on, a hood on, and some really like big sunglasses. So hopefully it's not as major as it really seems to be. Hopefully it's really just like he's kind of losing sight in one eye. But yeah, super excited to watch Omarion Hampton. Trey Harris, their second round draft pick. Something I said on my TikTok, if anyone watches from my TikTok live, something really exciting to watch is that wide receiver battle, because Keandre Lambert-Smith has really popped off during the training camp. Trey Harris just signed his rookie deal, and he's been really impressive in training camp. A lot of other, there's a lot of potential for receivers to come in, get to play with Justin Herbert in that offense, which is more of like a running offense. So what we really need to see is how well do the receivers block. Now, Trey Harris is a bit of a bigger person. Keandre Lambert-Smith is a bit of a bigger person. A good frame, so we want to see how their technique on blocking the outside is going to be. But other than that, you have RB1 in Najee. You have RB2 in Omarion. Those are going to be interchangeable RB1s. You're going to want to see who's going to be RB3, essentially. And you drafted, you drafted Kimani Vidal last year. Hassan Haskins was a really good pickup in the back end of the season of last season. You also have Jaret Patterson. They just signed Nyheim Hines, which is a little concerning for a lot of fans, considering they said that Najee Harris isn't major. But you also have undrafted free agent Raheem Sanders from North Carolina, Rocket Sanders. And outside of those people, there's not much that I really want to see. We'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see as the game goes on, and we'll have to wait and see as the players start performing.
Yeah, I think Najee is like almost guaranteed 1,000 yards every time he's out on the field, and I think he's one of those guys where he kind of flies under the radar for a lot of people, because he's just like he's not super flashy, but he's super consistent. I mean, he's getting 1,000 yards a year, 12 to 15 touchdowns, and no one talks about him. And I think with Harbaugh's offense, he's a great piece to add. And then you said with that 1-2 punch, I think the Lions are similar with Montgomery and Gibbs. Both these teams have that 1-2 running back combo punch that can be interchanged. And, I think both these teams arguably have, with the Eagles and the Ravens, I think some of the best run game in all of the NFL.
Yeah, I agree. I agree for sure. Looks like I'm having stream issues. Give me 1 second.
Oh.
No, it looks to be running just fine. I don't see nothing. Done. Well, hopefully this is working fine. If not, then I apologize to all.
It looks good.
Yeah, it's telling me right here it's not receiving enough video. Whatever. This is the first time, so we'll get better Wi-Fi for the next time. Don't worry, guys.
Oh yeah.
Game
Always
is
gotta
starting.
figure it out on the fly.
Yeah, exactly. The game is starting here in a couple of minutes. Something that we actually wanted to touch on, we were talking about it earlier. Terry McLaurin requesting a trade. It's huge. This is huge for Washington. It's huge for teams around the NFL. A really wide receiver dependent team right now would be the Chargers. They kind of want to find someone after the retirement of Mike Williams, especially a speedy outside receiver. He did just come off, I believe, his best season of his career. Did Scary Terry? So, I personally, as a Chargers fan, I would like to see at least the Chargers included in. Hey, they've contacted the Commanders, even if they don't get him. But I did see recently that the 49ers and the Chiefs should be extremely interested in trying to trade for him because, in quite honesty, who shouldn't try and trade for a wide receiver like Scary Terry? You know, I don't know your
Yeah,
thoughts on that.
I definitely. I mean, I don't really see the KC side just because they already have so many fast and elite weapons out there for Mahomes. But like the 49ers, I could easily see him going there, and I think the Chargers are also a good spot, like you said. I mean, other than Ladd's really he's he really burst onto the scene last year in his rookie year, and it was honestly quite shocking to see how effective he was. I mean, we knew he was going to be good going to Georgia and playing in the SEC, but I was shocked at how well that transferred over to the NFL at his size. But I think the Chargers are a great spot for Terry, and then I think another good spot for Terry, like I don't know. It's almost tough to say, but like I could kind of see him maybe going to like Green Bay too. Like,
Oh,
Green Bay they don't really have a wide receiver one because I think it would be Christian Watson if he could just stay healthy, but he's never healthy. So they have a bunch of wide receiver two and threes, and I think Green Bay would be a good spot for him. I don't want him to go to Green Bay, but I think it would be a good spot for him to go.
yeah, absolutely. And like you said, like I said, coming off his best year, you never, you never know. He is also, I believe, he just turned 30, 31. He's getting up there in age, so he's not gonna get the contract he wants, but he should get something close to it because, quite honestly, you just had that season, and who's to say that he couldn't do it again? You know?
Yeah, I think that's a big hit for Washington too this year. I think everyone's high on Washington this year just because Daniels was. I mean, he had the best rookie season as a quarterback ever in the NFL. But I mean, I think they were like 8-2 in one score games, which just like Kansas City, they were 13-0 in one score games. Like it's probably not going to happen again the following year. And I mean, we look at C.J. Stroud in 2023, and we're like, no one's going to have as close to good of a rookie season as he did.
Mm,
And then look at him last year; he struggled a little bit. I mean, they were still a decent team, but he didn't look like he did his rookie year. So I'm a little worried for Daniels if he doesn't have Terry. I know they got Debo, but I don't think Debo is a weapon that can run the routes Terry can and be as
mm.
effective running them. Like Debo's like a bruiser, runs in the flats. Terry's your deep ball guy. So I think that's a little concerning for Washington.
Absolutely, yeah. And like you said, Jaden Daniels had one of the best rookie seasons that you've ever seen. Before him, C.J. Stroud, and before C.J. Stroud was Justin Herbert. So every year there's a new rookie quarterback that just kind of bursts onto the scene, and we just have to see, will the hype continue, or is their game gonna back it up, or are they just gonna kind of level out and plateau and maybe fall, such as I believe the last quarterback that Trevor Lawrence had a very not abysmal rookie year, but he had a decent rookie year, had a better second year, and then kind of just faltered and fell the last 2 years. So we'll just have to wait and see on how the season plays out. It's every season's a new season. That's why there's almost never repeat champions. Unless you're the New England Patriots. So I think the game is gonna be starting soon. I'm not too sure. I know I'm a little behind, so if anything happens, don't react too excitedly, cause I'll be upset. No, I'm just kidding.
Uh,
But I know that there was a moment of silence earlier right now for the tragedy that happened in the New York buildings of the NFL headquarters. Please, I know not many people are watching this, but violence is almost never the answer. I can promise you that. So we gotta help each other, make sure we make better decisions. And yeah, that's an insane thing to happen, especially the NFL headquarters. From what I heard, he was targeting the NFL headquarters. So that's insane. You know, you'd never think an entertainment center would be targeted, but as you can see, new things are happening every day. Moving on from this very dreadful topic. It looks like I actually just read somewhere that the Chargers captains are going to be Trey Pipkins III, Junior Colson, Darius Davis, Dean Leonard, and Scott Matlock. Someone I'm actually really interested to watch is Junior Colson, linebacker from Michigan, drafted last year under Harbaugh, comes with Harbaugh. He also knows the defensive coordinator, Jesse Minter. So we just want to see him grow up, kind of mold into that linebacker that we've really been waiting for. You know, he was that linebacker's last season at Michigan. He played with a broken hand, and I think he led the Big Ten, right? I think they're in the Big Ten conference. I think he led the Big Ten in tackles, or I'm going to have to double check that. But kickoff's coming off right now. I think you might have already got the kickoff. And here we go. Kickoff.
And, I will say, I'm a Michigan fan, so I do know Harbaugh and Minter and a lot of the Michigan guys that he drafts, which I'm a big Harbaugh fan.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Let's go. Oh, maybe I'm not too far behind you. All right, what a way to start the game for the Chargers. Kickoff resulted in a fumble caused by Murphy? I don't know. Caleb Murphy, as said by the announcers. I should have a list. Let's see. Bumped into his own guy. Ball's out. Yep. We'll have to watch. Again.
That is not a great way to start a football game when you're fighting for a roster spot.
Absolutely
not. Is to fumble the opening kickoff.
You know what they say, though? You have to have the memory of a goldfish. When things like this happen, you have to go ahead and forget about it. Next play is your play. So we get the first look at Trey Lance here and Omarion Hampton. Oh, it looks like they're going into review, actually. So they're going to review the play, but absolutely right.
I think it was out.
Yeah. But I think, as you said, unfortunate time. It looks like he bumped into his own player. The ball is out of contact. That's not a good angle.
It's not a good enough angle to overturn it.
But the ball does look
but
loose.
It's definitely out.
Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see. Great tackle by Murphy right here. I guess it's the best angle. That ball is loose. Oh, that's a loose ball. That is a fumble. That is 100% a fumble. Great tackle by Murphy. Obviously not really forcing the fumble, but his tackle caused him to fall into the Lions player. And we'll have to see. I think it'll stand.
Yeah, I think it will as well.
I think it'll stand. Yeah.
We'll see. I'm curious to see. I see O'Connor in there on the screen. He was a Lions starter last year. I'm curious to see what they do this preseason with Hutchinson.
Interesting.
Coming off the leg break. I don't think he'll play today.
Okay.
But I think we might see him in week 3 or week 4 in the postseason or the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're really going to limit his snaps because he's not little dicey putting him in because breaking the leg is no joke.
Oh, Trey Lance's first pass as a Charger. Pass in the flat to Will Dillesley. It's about 9-yard gain right there. That's not something I believed that I thought I was gonna see. I was really thinking that they were gonna do more of a run game, But it was a good run. Like, it was a good play. You have Zion Johnson at center. That's actually really interesting. So for those who aren't Chargers fans, Zion Johnson is a left guard, right guard. I believe he was a tackle in college as well. And they have him at center this year. You have a wing formation. Handoff to Omarion Hampton. Runs up the middle. Gains about 2-3 yards. A flag is on the field, though. We're going to have to wait and see what that's going to be for. All right, well, when you look at that. Offside on the Lions.
Or he's way offsides. Look at that.
Oh, man.
Not even close.
Jesus. Like you said earlier, not a great way to start off if you're fighting for a roster spot. So, hopefully they pick it up. You have perfect. All right, you got gun out, gun split. Handoff right down the middle to Omarion Hampton again. That's a good 8-9 yards right there, right up the middle, right off of the tackle. Zone read. Beautiful. This is exciting. If you're a Chargers fan, that's a great run. If you're a Lions fan, what the hell is going on? But anyways.
It's all right. It's still July.
Yeah,
know?
Absolutely. And
it's
go ahead,
and these guys, they're fighting for a roster spot. So
yeah.
I do say I like seeing Ennis Rakestraw in there. You know, he was out all last year. He was a rookie. As Trey Lance fumbles the snap.
Oof, that's tough.
So what I'm saying, it's what I'm saying. It's still July.
Yeah.
You gotta. You know, I actually thought Trey Lance was gonna be really successful in San Francisco. I think Shanahan can. He's almost like a quarterback whisperer in a sense. So I'm kind of shocked he didn't pan out to what they hoped he would be.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't pan out over there either. I'm surprised he didn't pan out with the Cowboys. It seems like they run more of an offense suited to his skill set. That fumble could also be between the chemistry of, it's a handoff over to the left. It's about a 1-yard gain for Omarion Hampton. But yeah, I'm like you said, Trey Lance should have absolutely. He has the skills, he has the athletic ability, please, but he just never really panned out. That's a great tackle, by the way. I don't know who that is. Rock Ya-Sin? Oh, Rock Ya-Sin. It's been a while since I've seen him. That's a great tackle by a corner right there. Yeah, that's beautiful. But yeah, that fumble not good for him, but it's nice to see that, you know, there's confidence in him. Another rollout to the right. Touchdown by Trey Lance to Will Dillesley. Rolled out to the right. Little corner in the back of the end zone. Touchdown by Trey Lance. Touchdown Chargers. Your Lions can suck it. No, I'm just kidding. This is actually, that was a really good play design. Let me see.
Yeah, it's a good throw too.
That is, yeah, perfect on the money. Ooh, right over that. What a throw, actually. What a throw. That's beautiful throw. All right. Well, never thought I'd see that from Trey Lance.
We're just talking about the talent. He has it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But it's just, I think part of his problem was always the decision making. You know, he just turned it over too much. His throws were so. I mean, that throw looked good. That was put in the basket. But you know, I mean, you saw him at San Francisco and in his limited time last year in Dallas. I mean, his accuracy wasn't the greatest.
Yeah, absolutely. And just see, obviously, you could see a bit more. You could see a bit more confidence, a bit more swag with him, even in that drive. And I know, like everyone's saying, it's still July. This is the first action anyone's really seen since, especially for Trey Lance. He was with the Cowboys last season. His season ended at week 18, so he's been working out. He's been practicing on his own time with his trainer. And it seems to have worked, obviously. Now, like I said again, this is week 1. Everyone's rusty. No one's really put in actual game time. Practice can only get you so far. So it's nice to see that though, a bit of swagger, a bit of confidence from Trey Lance, and a good throw. That was actually a really beautiful throw. Maybe a mistimed jump by the defender, but still, like, that was right here to the tight end. So that's applaud him where it's needed. Absolutely. And if you do any bets, I have a bet on Trey Lance for a touchdown throw. That's a touchdown. I am 1/6 of the way of becoming $25 richer. I don't condone sports betting, but that's just something I got to put out there.
I'm quite the gambler, so I bet on every sport. So nothing fires me up more than the Hall of Fame game. First football action since February.
I couldn't even the moment I saw that there was actual bets allowed for the Hall of Fame game, I said, you know what? If I put in just a little bit of money, maybe I can make that much more money, you know?
Yeah, you never know. They say in gambling, there's no such thing as losers, only quitters.
Absolutely. And Corner, I see you commented, is that a $1 6 leg? You need to mind your business. Don't worry about the money I'm putting down, all right? I'm cheap, all right? I'm cheap. I can't risk too much money. I'm paying for school. I'm paying for a lot of things. Kickoff over to the linebacker again. A better return this time.
Oh, my God. He almost fumbled again.
I was going to say, that one looked real close,
Oh,
too.
my gosh.
But he got out to the 36, 37, so I would say that's a really decent return. We have our first look at Kyle Allen on the Lions. Interesting. I believe.
See, I told you this the quarterbacks they'll be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, for sure.
They'll be interesting.
I'm curious as to who they're gonna have in the backfield. Let's see right here.
Probably Craig Reynolds. Yeah, that's Craig Reynolds. Yep.
All right, beautiful. All right, we got defense. We have Tony Jefferson, Troy Dye, Junior Colson. Broken tackle. Great tackle right there by Dean Leonard. A man who was drafted 2 years ago, I believe. He comes out of... Oh, man, I'm not too sure. I forget what team he comes from. A flag on the field. Holding on 84.
Zylstra. Shane Zylstra.
Okay. All right.
Oh, man.
Earlier, we did talk about... Everyone's a little rusty. Not everyone's going 100% all the time in practice. So just seeing this kind of live action, people are actually fighting for spots, fighting for a check. Because that's what you get when you got on the 53-man roster. So it's a little bit more intensity, a bit different. So a run over to the right. Good cut inside. Good tackle by Otito Agbonia. I think that's how you say a name. Don't crucify me, please. Great tackle by Morris Brash as well in there in the match. He's been on the practice squad for the Chargers, I believe, the last 2-3 seasons. He's improved every single preseason. Just never really got on the field. Never got that chance to get on the field, even with an injured Joey Bosa every single season. So I'll let you take over the Lions offensive play calling if you want.
Sure. Allen out of the gun. Throws it over. Oh, my goodness. The ball right through his hands dropped.
Man, that's brutal.
I think that's love it. Yeah, it is. That's he was drafted late. I think he was either like late 6th or 7th round pick this year. He just never fully controlled it.
Yeah.
It was a perfect throw, too. Great throw.
A beautiful throw. Great route, too. That was a great route. He just never fully saw it.
So now you're forced to throw. The Chargers are playing cover 3 here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a draw. Craig Reynolds, gain of 5. They'll punt it away.
Yeah.
So not the greatest first series for the Lions there.
Mm-hmm. But you saw Craig Reynolds has been in there. I mean, he runs hard. Looks like he runs hard.
Yeah, Craig Reynolds is definitely a solidified 3rd running back for the Lions for sure.
Well, I mean, I feel like at this point RB
He's been
two.
the third. He's been RB3 for this will be year 3 or 4 for the Lions. So Craig Reynolds, he's one of those guys where you can throw him in at fullback and he'll go out there and block everyone.
Yeah, that's
If you
pretty cool.
remember 2 years ago when they played the Bucs in Tampa Bay, when Amon-Ra ran that flat all the way across, that was Craig Reynolds who blew up the corner for that to score. So Craig Reynolds is a good back for sure.
Oh man, I'm surprised he didn't fumble right there. That was Naheem Hines, like I said, recently re-signed. Actually signed by the Chargers. He missed the whole season, I believe. Last time he was with a team, he was with the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, right. He comes from the Colts. He went over to the Bills. He missed all last season with an injury. Comes off that injury. Is now signing with the Chargers. Was returning that punt. Corner, I saw your comment. Thank you. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day, man. But someone's down over there. Oh no, sorry. They're just showing Jim Harbaugh's khakis. Look at that, the khaki man. All right, we got Trey Lance over here under center. Hands it. Nope. Fake handoff. Throws it into the flat for Robert Patterson. Nice little. Oh man, pretty sure he just got punched there, but that's okay. No, I'm just kidding.
That's become popular in the last few years. Is that punching the football, trying to get it out. I mean, you're seeing a lot of fumbles. I mean, last year for Michigan, you saw a lot with Donovan Edwards. I played against him in high school. He had the 2 touchdowns in the national championship game 2 years ago, and he had a down year last year. He fumbled quite a few times, which was shocking because I'd never seen him play that. Not that he played bad, he's an elite athlete, but he struggled last year, which was really surprising, and that's because you see it's becoming more popular where these guys are coming in and punching the football.
Yeah, the peanut punch.
And so I mean, it's been because when I was playing, you were told to try to strip it away, but now they're being told to punch the football, which is
have to be
interesting.
Careful with that though, because you punch the face mask, and even if you miss, it's not excusable. All right, almost a 5-man blitz right there. Oh, a deep pass over to Keandre Lambert-Smith. That is what we've been waiting for. A great pass from Trey Lance under pressure over to KLS. This is a man that I was talking about earlier. I believe I was talking about this with you before I started the stream. KLS, Keandre Lambert-Smith, man drafted from Auburn. He's been extremely impressive in training camp. And we just have a handoff, a zone read over to Robert Patterson up the middle for about 2 yards. But yeah, Keandre Lambert-Smith, you watch him in practice, and he's almost always got separation, almost always is making the catch. There's a video going around on Chargers Twitter about a beautiful sideline catch he made, and as a Chargers fan, this is really exciting to see because you need receivers to go and step up, and you need someone to go and be the guy that you've always wanted, and KLS seems to really put in the work and really put in the effort and make these plays. So we'll see how he pans out during the regular season. You had another zone read right up the middle for about the gain of a yard. So you have 3rd and about 7 right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's big for the Chargers too. Not only to get a solidified number 2 receiver behind Ladd, but I feel from an outsider of Chargers fans looking in that Herbert hasn't always had the weapons to his disposal, but he still puts up great numbers. However, I feel as if he had at least 2 guys for sure that his game would really elevate.
Trey Lance scrambling, throws it away. Yeah, he held onto the ball for too long. No one got open there. That's coverage sack, I think, actually. No, he threw it away. I lied. Yeah. Unfortunately, no one got open there. But, I mean, great plays by Trey Lance. Way to, evade the pressure, evade the sack. I respect that. Like I said, a little bit more confidence, a bit of more, swag from Trey Lance. Oh, damn. A PAT from here?
Well, it's like a 52
Is it?
yarder. Yeah,
This is
52.
actually really interesting. I'll
Dickers.
do.
Oh!
Off the goalpost. No way.
Oh!
No way.
Lions squeeze out of there with no damage done. You know, that's surprising. How many field goals did he miss last year?
I think he missed a
4
total of
maybe.
2.
Yeah, it
2
is
field goals and
first field goal of the year attempt.
yeah.
Blanks it.
I'll put it up
alright,
to the
though.
rust. I'll put it up to the rust. Hopefully that's just a rust thing. Not
Yeah,
something
better to do that now than with week 17 when they're playing the Chiefs. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Better do it
That
now
division-
than when it
that
matters
division-
for playoff seeding.
That division's gonna be really good this year. The AFC West.
Absolutely.
Really good. I think the Broncos will be good. I think the Raiders are going to be better. I think with their offensive weapons now, Pete Carroll's coming in, so now they got Geno, Ashton Genty's a big piece. Brock Bowers, massive rookie season. And the Raiders have always had a good defense. That's what really kept them in a lot of games last year. I know the record doesn't show for it, but you look at their losses. I mean, they're losing 17-13. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they're taking the Chiefs down to the wire. They're taking the Chargers down to the wire. I think that division is going to be really good, and I would not be shocked on the AFC side if you see 3 teams from the West in the playoffs. With the Chargers,
yeah.
Chiefs, Broncos. And, then you're saying, okay, if one of them's out, assuming, we'll say 2 teams from the AFC North get in, and we'll say the Ravens and Bengals, who's missing out? Is it the Chiefs down here this year? Are the Chargers going to finally win the division? Or what about Denver? Bo Nix, sophomore season. I mean, I'm really excited for the AFC West this year.
Absolutely, yeah. And like you said, the Broncos, funny enough, have the sneaky great team. They just signed, oh my God, who did they just sign? I was actually just reading up on it earlier today, but they have a sneaky good team. They have Patrick Surtain, the number 1 corner in the country,
yeah, he's the best
honestly.
corner in the league.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
No, not even close.
Mm-hmm. Who'd they just sign? I was literally looking at their signings the other day, and it's an insane.
Well, the head coach of the high school that I went to, and Zach Line, he played in the NFL. He played for the Saints, and he played for the Vikings, and he played for Sean Payton in New Orleans. And this year he took a coaching job with the Broncos. So he is the, I think, assistant special teams coach with the Denver Broncos this year. So
we're back from commercial break here. Go ahead. You go ahead. I believe you're gonna break it down.
No, so I was just saying, I got a little slight root for the Broncos just for his success, but I'm okay with anyone winning that division other than Kansas City.
Yeah, we've been waiting for that. Offsides right here on Deshaun Hand, a new signing in the offseason by the Chargers. Good swarm tackling. Unfortunately, he was lined up offsides. Craig Reynolds again with a run. Here we go. All right, you have Kyle Allen splitting the gun. Craig Reynolds to his side. All right, Kyle Allen, little bubble to Craig Reynolds, and he, almost broke. Almost broke free. Got a little nervous there. I'm
a little bit ahead of you. So I like the ball is getting snapped right now for me.
Oh man, I'm still getting the replay. It's all good though. No worries about it.
Good tackle by Jefferson there. He filled the gap well.
Yes, sir. Let's see. Let's find out. I'm assuming Tony Jefferson, the safety.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, flying down. Oof, what a tackle.
Yeah, way to fill the gap.
Yeah, dude, he's 32 now, 33. Yeah. I know on Charger Twitter they call him Unk. Please don't call people Unk. We're not that old. He's 33, man. Like, he's only 10 years older than some of us. But yeah.
Oh, Jesus, dude.
Oh man, I can't wait to watch this. That is a big man
Oh.
right there. Under center, snap by Kyle Allen, drops back, pressure right there. It just drops it into the floor. All right, good defense, good pressure from the defensive line. I think we're gonna see here.
Intentional grounding. He was not out of the pocket
Oh no,
and threw it away.
was there a receiver around him?
Oh, so they are saying there was. So Craig Reynolds was in the area, but so I guess no intentional grounding. But so the Lions get away with another.
Yeah, because he's
Lucky.
right. Yeah, he's right there, right by the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's an eligible receiver. So I've always wondered about that call. Clearly, you can see he's not trying to make a play on the ball. But I've always wondered, like, oh, but what if, he's not even, like, he's blocking someone. Quite clearly, Craig Reynolds is blocking somebody. So to me, that rule was always like, well, what if he's not really paying attention to the ball? But it makes sense. He's an eligible receiver. If you throw it at his feet, it makes sense. So I know you're a little bit ahead of me right now. I'm pretty sure you just got the other snap, the other play.
Wow.
I'll wait right here. You have Kyle Allen in the gun. Trey over here on the top. All right. The snap, drops back, looking over to his right, throws it over. Oh, a pick. Oh, is that a pick six? Tell me that's a pick six. Ah, so close. Look at that. Interception by, I don't know his name. I have no idea who that is.
That's just a bad ball. I think you know what that was. I think that was the second he lined up. He said, "I'm throwing there no matter what."
I don't think he really. Yeah, I don't.
He didn't go through his progressions whatsoever.
That was a slow breaking
know.
route as well. I'm gonna be honest. But
Yeah, I don't know how you throw that.
I think Kyle Allen may have been staring him down the entire time. I'm gonna be honest, because I did say he was looking over his right, and yeah, I mean, good interception by Nico Reed right there.
I will say though, Jared Goff's not doing that.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, those routes.
I mean, he had those games where 4 or 5 picks. However, I still think Goff is like a top 7 quarterback in the league, top 8 in the league.
Yeah, I believe he's great instincts with the ball. He got a handoff running to the left for Kimani Vidal. Ooh, great thought. That might be a touchdown. I'm gonna be honest with you. Gotta watch it. Unless he stepped out of bounds. I think he stayed in bounds long enough. Oof. What a hit by Rocky Sin. That's a good hit for sure. All right, handoff right up the middle for Kimani Vidal again. And yeah, he's in. That's a touchdown. Chargers touchdown, baby. Let's go. That's 2 great touchdowns. One, the passing touchdown by Trey Lance. Second, Kimani Vidal fighting for that touchdown. I didn't know where he was. He's a short man, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't see it. I'm glad. Yeah, that's a good touchdown. Kimani Vidal drafted last year in the 6th or 7th round, if I'm not mistaken. Right, you're fighting. Oh, fighting through 3 Lions players. That's some strength right there. I gotta be honest. You take note of that. You take note of that for sure.
Oh.
Get the extra point attempt. I know Cameron Dicker did just
Brutal.
miss that field goal. So hopefully he makes this extra point attempt.
Oh. Horrific start for Detroit. Horrific.
All right.
You know what though? I will say, Lions last year in the preseason went 1-3.
True. Preseason almost never. It never matters. It almost never matters.
Especially with teams like. But here's what I will say is preseason doesn't matter, but it does, because if we're seeing here and we're saying, okay, Goff, God forbid, you know, tears his ACL,
Yeah.
right? Like what? Who are they gonna put in? And like, I mean, whatever that throw was, I can't have that as my quarterback, So like,
Yeah, absolutely.
it does matter, but at the same time, it's just like, oh my gosh, like I need to see something that I can say, okay, I can work with. Kyle Allen's in year 8. He shouldn't be doing that.
Absolutely.
What we just saw. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not thrilled. And like I said before too, like I think Hendon Hooker is like, I wanted the Lions to draft him when they did in 2023, and I think that I think he's the guy when Goff is all said and done. I know we just re-signed him, but I think when he's all said and done, as long as they don't trade him away or something, I think he's that guy. I mean, he's sitting there. Goff can groom him into a good, starting NFL quarterback. And the thing with Hendon is Hendon's got the athletic ability to escape the pocket where, Goff is not. Goff is one of the only pure pocket passers left in the league, I think. And, someone like Hendon who can learn from Goff about pocket presence and, trusting reads. I think he has the ability to become really good, almost kind of like Jordan Love. Now, I know Love is, he only sat for 3-4 years before getting his chance, but like, I think Hendon Hooker has that ability to be like next man up for the Lions.
Yeah, I agree. Hendon Hooker, I remember when he was playing in Tennessee, he had a bit of hype coming out of Tennessee, but no one ever really.
Right, because he was coming off the ACL tear.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Remember,
right.
he tore his ACL in one of the last weeks in college football season, and that really, I think that actually made his stock drop.
Mm-hmm.
But I trust. I think Brad Holmes. I don't care who you root for. I think Brad Holmes in the last 3 years has had the best draft run I've ever seen, and then it gets to a point where it's like, okay, well, now you got to pick and choose who you pay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to think 2 years ago, the Lions drafted Gibbs, Laporta, Jack Campbell, and Brian Branch all in the same draft.
I remember that.
And Tesla, that's our first chance to see him. A big gain there.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, here we go. You have it before me. I'm a little delayed. Craig Reynolds. No.
Oh, here, I'll pause my.
You're good. Look at that. Tesla catch right here. I'll tell you right now. You gotta wait like, I'd say maybe 6 seconds. Pause it for about 6 seconds. You might be.
I paused it for I just unpaused it now.
All right, word. But yeah.
Are you seeing the play yet or no?
No, I'm not seeing the play yet. No.
Oh, tell me when he snaps it.
All right.
Tell me when it snapped.
It's about to snap. I have Kyle Allen walking up. He's under center. You have the I formation right now in motion. All right. He's about to snap it now.
Okay,
all right,
we're good now.
No, fake handoff to Craig Reynolds. Rolling out to his right, Kyle Allen. Good throw
there
by Tesla again. There you go. Look at that.
I'm telling you, dude. People say he was a reach. He went to Hillsdale College in Michigan, and then he transferred to Arkansas. So he grew up in Michigan. He's like a hometown kid, like Hutchinson is. I think he's got potential. Dude, he's 6'4", 220, whatever.
Yeah, he looks like a big dude. I got to be honest.
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
And he's got that crazy athletic ability. I know he played at Hillsdale, Division II, but he was. I mean, if you see what he was doing at Division II, I mean, you're like, holy smokes. He played against. As Craig Reynolds falls down after the handoff.
Slips. I mean, he gains about 1, though. Yeah, he gains about 1. Great way to recover. Jay Sean, don't worry about how you got here. You're here, dog. And Jacob, thank you. Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate y'all watching. You guys don't have to stay and watch. I appreciate the support either way. Y'all can go about your day. But no, yeah. by Tesla. That was what a play. But both two back-to-back plays by, I don't know his first name, but he looks like he's a baller.
Isaac.
Separation, yeah.
Isaac.
Separation was crazy on both of them. Yeah, Kyle Allen right here in gun. Craig Reynolds over to his right. Snaps, drops back. Quick look. Little hitch right here. Good. What a stiff arm. Gain about 8. Gain about 8 right there.
That's a good spin move. He used that in their first series. He dropped that ball on second and long. That was a good catch. I think the rookies, you have a little more, when they're drafted, they have a little more lenience than the guys who get picked up in free agency. So
absolutely, because you're. It's not saying that. It's not saying that you're wanted when you're more wanted when you're drafted by a team, but it's also kind of like you're a bit more wanted.
Yeah.
Kyle Allen dropping back. Oh, a deep ball over to Tesla. That's a pick right there. Come on, Kyle Allen not having a great day at all.
That's just horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, he's double covered, and you sail him by 5 yards.
Yeah.
Like, that ball wasn't even catchable for him.
That was not. That was at least a good 5 yards ahead. I will say, though, that's Unk status right there. Tony Jefferson, look at that. Toe tap down. Let's go Chargers, by the way. All right? But, no, that you gotta play that. You got to play a better ball. Especially for a guy like that. 6'4", 215 maybe?
Yeah.
You have time. You have so much time. No, a bit of contact on the field right there by Nico Reed.
You gotta allow the contact, though.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I think it's getting. I think as of late, some of the defensive pass interferences are just atrocious. Like you gotta let them. I mean, the way I think some of these plays are called, like when there's flags, it's like you gotta let them play.
Yeah,
it's getting extremely difficult for corners to cover because. I mean, you have to make contact. You have to.
All right.
And it's the receiver's job to fight around the contacts.
Oh, great blitz pickup by Hassan Haskins. Trey Lance holding onto the ball way too long. Way too long. That was a terrible play by Trey Lance.
I'll be right back.
You're good. No worries. I'll just be here. To those watching, thank you for watching. Jacob, I don't care. I'm just kidding. How's everyone's day? A-Rag, go Pats? No go Pats. Never. Not once. All right, waiting for the next play. So the Chargers currently up 14-0 on the Detroit Lions. A fumble by the Lions on the opening kickoff helped set up that first touchdown. Trey Lance in the gun, drop back. Quick pass over the middle to Gadsden, if I'm not mistaken, in number 86. Perfect. But yeah, so 14-0, a fumble on the opening kickoff by the Lions set the Chargers up in great field position. And then you had a great pass by Trey Lance, someone who kind of trying to revitalize his career, especially under Jim Harbaugh. We have a new play here. Got Trey Lance set up he's got under center. No, he's in the gun formation. You got Hassan Haskins over to his left. Takes the snap, drops back, waits, throws, high throw. Good catch by Darius Davis. Beautiful catch by Darius Davis, actually. All right. 4th down, though. Oh, I did not even see that. That's unfortunate. Great hold by the Texans. Not the Texans. That's the wrong team right there. That's PTSD. Great stop by the Lions defense, who actually they've been on the field almost the entire game. I got to be honest. We're not even out of the first quarter yet, and I think they've been on the field 4 times. This is pretty abysmal.
Oh yeah, they have.
Yeah. J.K. Scott. Oh, booming punt. Jesus. Look at the hang time. Beautiful for a return, though. Oh, no. That's a good return. That's a great return. Runs it over to the right. Great return by, I don't know what his name is. I got to be honest with you. You got to help me on this one.
I didn't see who was it. What number?
19. Number 19.
Oh, love it.
Love it. Oh, that's right. He dropped the first pass. You're right. Absolutely right. God, I don't like how that's how I remembered him. But yeah, I was telling him, I don't
Well,
know.
first quarter recap, no good. That's all I have to say.
No good for the Lions.
Tesla looks good so far.
Yeah, that's a good bright
Doug
spot. I
Brown-
gotta be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it though.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you had those two great plays back to back, and then you try. Obviously, because of those two plays, you tried to feed him
Try
that
to
touchdown
force
ball.
it, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you're trying to see the best of everyone, and unfortunately, sometimes to get that, you have to force it. You have to go and just be like, "Hey, go get it." Especially in a jump ball like that. Like, yes, there was contact down the field. Yes, that could have been called pass interference, but that ball was way too overthrown. Like, it was never gonna be his, and it was a really bad ball. So I commend what Kyle Allen was trying to do, but you gotta be better than that. You gotta be a lot better than that, especially in
Yeah, I
the
mean
preseason,
he's
especially
a
fighting for
veteran.
a
He's a
QB spot.
veteran at this point, you know. Like he can't be making those mistakes in year 9. So
Year 9 for Kyle Allen, really.
in the 8 or 9, I think.
Oh
Let's
man,
let me look.
I could have sworn he's only been there for about 4. That's crazy. My goodness.
This is year 7.
Okay, yeah. So, he's 1 year.
Almost a decade in.
Yeah, he's 2019, drafted 2019 or undrafted 2019. But yeah, that's crazy. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Oh, 2018.
Was it 2018? Should be 2019 though.
So this will be
Herbert, Hurts, Burrow, and Love are all year 6, and they're 2020.
undrafted free agent in 2018.
Oh wow! All right.
What it says.
So this should be
I
year
coulda
8 then.
I could have sworn he was drafted though.
Should have been year 8 then. Yeah, this should be year 8, not year 7 for good old Kyle Allen. So I wonder, are they gonna keep him in until halftime and then put Hendon Hooker in?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
We'll see here though. Yeah, he's still in.
Yeah, he's still. Yeah, it makes sense.
Unfortunately.
Not unfortunately. What do you mean? You gotta let him play it out. He's rusty. He's gotta work it out himself. You got Kyle Allen under center, motion over Lovett, hand off to Craig Reynolds right up the middle. That's a great gain. It's a good 10-yard run right there by Craig Reynolds. I'm not gonna lie, he has like RB 1.5 capabilities. I gotta be honest with you.
Oh yeah, that's why when Montgomery went down last year, having him and Gibbs, it was almost. I mean, he's not as good as Montgomery, but he's still an effective back.
Yeah,
and
he's
can hit the hole
shifty.
hard.
Shifty. He's got good mobility, good cut, good vision. What's going on here? Pause. A virtual measurement. Oh, this is the first time we're gonna be seeing this. Actually, it's not the first time. I think they did it last year too.
A virtual measurement?
Yeah, they've wanted to do it since last year.
Huh. So they're actually doing them this year? I remember hearing about it.
Yeah, I believe so. Which I think personally, it's a first down without a doubt. His knee never touched down until he was passed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, look at that graphic. I'm so glad that this is what they.
So is that a thing that the coach has to challenge, or will that be officials decide that?
I think it's gonna be a challengeable thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it'll be a challenge thing, as most things are. I apologize for yawning. All right, so we have Kyle Allen again under center. You have a receiver split out on either side. You have a wing back on his left side. Motion in. Hand off to Craig Reynolds, who cuts it right up the middle. A gain of about 3 or 4. Yeah, so I would say the virtual measurement thing, I think it was used in a preseason game last year, but it doesn't look like it's effective. Like for me, what you would do is you'd have instant replay kind of go and tell you where it is, or you have like a tracker in the ball. All right, we're watching the Tesla replays right now. What a move to get open on both of those, by the way.
Hey, he runs good routes.
Yeah, he's running good routes. Big.
He's fast enough, I think.
Kyle Allen takes the snap, looking over at Tesla, throws it onto the flat for Zylstra. Good catch by Zylstra. It's about 3rd and 1 right now. But yeah, no, dude, that could be a freak athlete right there. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, so imagine St. Brown, Jameson Williams, and Tesla.
That'd be a really good
with Laporta and the duo back of Montgomery and Gibbs.
Yeah, I believe.
Watch out.
Yeah, that's a really good receiver right there for the future. Kyle Allen in the gun. All right.
I will say these are against second string guys. Yeah. So, however,
it also, they're about the same competition level. So you always want to see someone transcend their competition level.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought there was a flag. Sorry, timeout by...
Oh, here you go. Look at the... There he is. Hudsonville. That's pretty close to me, I think. Hudsonville, probably an hour away.
Oh, that's actually funny. This guy pulled up to his pre-draft visit with the Lions jersey on. That's actually funny. At Arkansas, I didn't know he was from Arkansas. Okay.
Yeah, he played at Hillsdale and then Arkansas last year. Yeah, I remember hearing about him. So the radio station here in Detroit, 97.1, they have Dan Campbell on. They get all the coaches for all the major sports teams. They have him on, and Dan said that when he came in, he was wearing that jersey, and they thought he was like crazy. Like, why would you make your own jersey like that? And he said he just had it from when he was a kid. Because he's from Hudsonville.
Playing for your childhood team has got to be nice. Great cut by Reynolds. Yeah. Runs up, gets about 5 yards right there. Dude, Craig Reynolds, he's going to be a star of the game. I got to be so honest. He's going to be the star of the game. Like, everyone's so excited about Omarion Hampton. Well, Chargers-wise, Omarion Hampton, Trey Harris. But Craig Reynolds is the star of the game right now. He's just cutting up, cutting in. Just look at that. We're probably going to see another handoff right here. All right, you have Kyle Allen under center. Is it a handoff? It's a handoff to guess who? Craig Reynolds. Oh, great run. Oh, good tackle. Mickens. Whew.
That looked a little awkward landing there.
Yeah. I was going to say, he got up a little gingerly right here. Let's see. Terrible attempt of a tackle right there. He might have twisted his ankle a bit right there, I got to be honest. Or just extended his foot too much. Oh, I think actually R.J. Mickens might have landed on his toe. So he might have strained his toe a bit. Yeah, he got a little bit of a foot injury right now, for sure. Probably trying to work it off over on the sideline. But handoff by Kyle Allen again. A bounce out. Great tackle by Johnson and Nico Reed again. So yeah, I think personally, Craig Reynolds has definitely been the star of the show. Kyle Allen has been the side star, but not for the right reasons. He's infamous in this game right now.
Oh,
not the best, but he's got 11 minutes to kind of go ahead and work up to it. That's a false start right there.
Man,
that's brutal. Yeah, but funny enough, talking about people that I've wanted to see, I did want to see Kyle Kennard for the Chargers, and I haven't seen him on the field at all. He's a rookie, drafted out of South Carolina, led the SEC in sacks last year, and I have yet to see him once. I think I saw him once or twice on the field, but man, I haven't seen him a lot, and that's a little concerning, honestly, considering he was the SEC sack leader last year. But you have another handoff by Kyle Allen. Way to stay up. Good. I mean, great contact by, who is that? Chikwueze? No, not Chikwueze. Morris Brash with the tackle right there. Looks like Trey Lance might be done for the day, considering he's just handshaking everyone. We have Kyle Allen in the gun.
Man, I'm not liking what I'm seeing from Kyle Allen very
No,
much.
I don't blame you at all. And he's probably gonna attempt his first pass since that interception. All right, throws it right down the middle. Short.
Good
Great catch by
though.
Lovett. Great catch by Lovett. Yeah, and he knew he was gonna get hit too, so he automatically just first thing he said is, "I gotta make sure I catch the ball." So great catch by Lovett.
Here's the Dan Campbell special. 4th and 3, they the ball.
Absolutely, stay on the field.
They go for it.
Yeah. Good tackle by R.J. Mickens and Jasir Taylor right there.
Last year, 150.
That's crazy. 151 attempts since 2021.
Detroit had last year.
All right. Let's see this right here. Snapback, spin move by. Oh, he's holding on to the ball too
Kyle.
long.
Get it.
He's gonna get it. He got it. Oh, Kyle Allen with the ability to get that first down. They're on the
heroics.
They're in the red zone right now. Look, give it up to Kyle Allen. They're in the red zone. Look at that.
Scares me when he holds the ball for a little long. But
absolutely, yeah.
He was able to get there.
Good for him. Good for him. This is the first positive play that I genuinely think Kyle Allen has done. Way to pick up that first down. So you have the Lions right now at about the
14-yard line
right there. Yeah. You have that's not Craig Reynolds. I don't know if Craig Reynolds' night is going to be done, honestly.
It's probably done. I mean, I don't think Craig Reynolds has much to prove, I think he's obviously going to be on the roster, so
True,
and I think the last thing you want is to start the injuries in the preseason.
Exactly, yeah, especially with the injuries
based on the history of last year.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. With the way last year went, there's no way you want to risk anything. Not at all. So, thank you, Nadu. Thank you for joining in. Thank you, Dad, for joining in. I hope you all are enjoying. You have Kyle and a toss over to the right. Great pursuit by the defense. I think you almost fumbled that right there, honestly. Gain about 2 or 3 right there, so you're going to have a 3rd and 5 come up right now for the Lions in the red zone. But yeah, I think personally, defensive-wise, the Chargers are a bend don't break. We're going to see right now if they give up a touchdown. Not the best defensive series. They've been getting chipped away. But that's kind of the Lions' way to play. That's how they did with Jahmyr Gibbs. That's how they did it with David Montgomery. That's just kind of the way they play. So you have Kyle Allen right now in the gun. Takes the snap. Quick pass over to the left. Catch by Lovett. And you have 4th and 1 right now. You're back. I think I saw you disconnected for a bit. Hello? Alright, I think Joseph's internet's going down a little bit, so it'll be just me right now. Sorry, y'all. I hope y'all.
Yeah, my internet is no good.
That's all good, dude. Mine isn't the best either, but hey, we're gonna make do with it. All right. We have at the 5-yard line. 4th and 1 for the Lions at the 5-yard line. Kyle Allen's in the gun. You have 2 over on the right, 1 up top. Looking over to Lovett. Good catch by Lovett. Great catch by Lovett. Ever since that first drop, I think he's really stepped up to the plate. He's had those 2 great catches. And that's another 4th down conversion for the Lions. Obviously, there's only been 2 attempts, but both of them have been converted by Lovett. Not Lovett, actually. Both of them have been converted. A bit of a bobble, but hey, secured the ball at the end. Great pass by Kyle Allen, actually. Only where Lovett could get it. So you have 1st and goal from the 3-yard line right here for the Lions. Kyle Allen takes the snap, hands it off to Craig Reynolds, who's back in the game. Spun down. Maybe a loss of 1. Maybe just breaks even by Murphy. Murphy. Why do I not know who you are? I forgot I was watching this on my Xbox, actually. I just got an Xbox notification. That scared me. All right. Oh, handoff to Craig Reynolds again. Cuts it up the middle. And a touchdown for the Lions. The first score for the Lions in the preseason. Craig Reynolds comes in and just breaks the bat. Look at that. Great offensive series for the Lions. As I was talking about earlier, their offensive style is a little bit like chip away, chip away, chip away, chip away.
Mm-hmm.
Either through the ground, through the air, and eventually they'll just kind of throw a little dump pass and they'll take it for a bit. But that's the Lions play style, and that's the Dan Campbell play style. So without Ben Johnson, you just don't see that creativity really, I would say. But it's still a great offense. It's discipline. It's knowing your assignment. It's nitty. It's gritty. It's dig deep and out physical the guy in front of you. And I think that's a great offense to have. I think that's what the Chargers are trying to replicate over on the West Coast. So we'll see how it goes from here.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier too. Like, I think people don't give Dan Campbell enough credit for that offense, because I think, Dan Campbell's always been people think he's a defensive coach because he's so, hardcore and we're going to bite kneecaps. But, he played tight end in the NFL. He's an offensive guy. He learned under Sean Payton. So he's an offensive-minded coach, and I think a lot of this is his playbook. And that's why, like, when I see people saying that they think the Lions are going to struggle this year, and they're like, Ben Johnson is like a god, and then they say, well, the Bears are going to be super good this year. It makes me think, it's like, well, the Lions, sure, they're going to have 2 new coordinators, but they're hiring from within, where the Bears have a whole new coaching staff. So, and like, people that think the Lions are going to just fall off a cliff are crazy. Their roster is too good to do that. It's just too good.
Yeah, unless they go through that injury bug again. And even with the injury bug, they finished first?
15-2.
Yeah, they finished first in the NFC, right? First seed?
Yeah, they're the 1 seed.
Yeah. Now, granted, they were first in the 1 seed last year, and that kind of bit them in the butt because they faced a
Washington team that was unbelievably hot.
Not only that, it was a Washington team that pretty much was almost at full strength, almost zero injury, and with the way that like you said, that Washington offensively firepowered, the Lions were going to be able to contain Jaden Daniels, and they weren't going to be able to contain Scary Terry or anything like that. So
yeah, and looking back on that game, it's like it's just horrible because they scored 31 points, and Goff had 3 picks, a pick 6, and then we were down 14 in a critical part in the game, and Ben Johnson decides to call a throw with Jameson Williams. It's like, doesn't really make a whole bunch of sense to me.
No, yeah, absolutely not.
That game, so. But, I mean, we've seen Goff. Like, you look at Goff, and when the Lions played Houston on Monday Night Football, it was Goff had 5 picks, and they were down 20-0 at halftime. They won 23-20. So, I mean, we've seen Goff have horrible games, but I think last year was the defense did end up, struggling once you got to a mobile quarterback. And, like, I've always thought the Lions always struggle against super mobile QBs like Daniels. Like, I remember in the 2023 season when they were 5-1 or 4-2, one of the two, and they went to Baltimore, and they lost 42-7. And it was because Lamar just had it all day in the pocket.
Yeah, and I think that's thanks to the obviously Lamar, an escape specialist, really. Like, nothing about Lamar is gonna. It's not easy to play Lamar, even in the AFC.
Yeah, I mean,
North.
Yeah. I don't think you can. You just can't contain him.
Yeah,
it's just impossible.
Yeah, it really is. We got a game going back on here. Handoff from Trey Lance to Hassan Haskins. That's a gain about 2 right there. The Hall of Fame class being inducted for the Chargers fans. Antonio Gates finally makes it into the Hall of Fame. He should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people can agree with that. and I think it's a shame that the only first ballot Hall of Famer is Tony Gonzalez, and I think the only other first ballot tight end you'll ever see is going to be Travis Kelce. So I think that's not just disrespectful, but just flat out wrong. What a run by Nyheim Hines right here. Cutting up, cutting down. Look at that. But, yeah,
Antonio Gates,
yeah.
Michigan native.
Yeah, exactly. Led by that 2006 Chargers team. You had Antonio Gates. You had LaDainian Tomlinson, Phillip Rivers. Yeah, it was a great team all around. A great team all around. And it's a shame that, everything that he accomplished, they just never really they just never really gave him his flowers. And I'm gonna apologize right now. You guys are probably gonna see my screen freeze for a good 30 seconds. I apologize to you guys. That's gonna be the internet for you. Apologies again. We have Trey Lance under center. Takes the snap, hands it off to Nyheim Hines. Great tackle, almost behind the line of scrimmage. Right there, a gain of about 1 for the Chargers. But, yeah, you also have, I believe Sterling Sharp is also going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And there's a Vikings legend. I'm going to need your help on. What was his name? I don't remember. I don't remember who. Yeah, but Sterling Sharp being inducted, that's a huge deal, considering his brother Shannon Sharp is in the Hall of Fame. They will be the first brothers in the Hall of Fame. Maybe that's a lie. Ooh, that's gonna be a flag for pass interference though, or holding, probably holding.
Oh, gosh, dude, they just need one break, man.
It's hard to get the breaks when you're the one causing the mistakes. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, they're not making a ton of great decisions. So.
Yeah, but I honestly didn't really see any of that, but we'll have to wait and see. But that gives the Chargers a first down, a new set of downs as well. I'm going to have to wait and see where they'll be on. I think they're going to be on the other side of the 50, just a bit. We'll wait until the game feed comes back on. Yeah, just on the other side of the 40, so about the 38. Trey Lance in the gun. Takes the snap, drops back, throws it right up the middle. Great catch. Who is that? Tucker Fisk. I didn't even remember who you are. That's about a 20... That's a 20-yard gain right there, I think. Seam right up the middle. Yeah, look at that. Great ball.
Yeah, Trey Lance has looked pretty good today.
Yeah, he absolutely has. Comes out of North Dakota State. Obviously went over to San Francisco. Never really panned out there. We were talking about that earlier. Never panned out with the Dallas Cowboys because honestly, with the way everyone was talking about him, it's hard to have that confidence. Under center
also,
right
though,
now,
when you're, when you go to a place like Dallas where they already have a solidified, starting quarterback, it's tough to get your chance. And, with Dak going down last year, he had his chance, and he just couldn't perform.
Absolutely. And they had an established second guy in Cooper Rush, which is even crazier that they signed Trey Lance. But if you're watching the game right now, he looks happy. He looks like he's got that swag and confidence now. And that's something that, realistically, you want to see in a quarterback, even if they're a backup. You want to see a backup go in and be like, I can take over this team and lead them. Not just like, I don't have to be dominant. I don't have to throw the numbers up. Like, let's say, that Justin Herbert throws. I don't have to do that. I just have to be a game manager. And that's what you want to be when you're a backup, quite honestly. You just want to make those throws. You just want to make those decisions that don't put the team in a risky place. That's pretty much the job of a backup quarterback. They're not asking you to be the superstar. They're asking you to win the game. And those, when you think about it, those are two very different things in the mind of a football coach, genuinely. So, we're about to reach the end of the first half right here. I'm going to be honest with you guys. when the half starts, we're gonna take a quick break because I have been holding in the urge to go to the bathroom for the last 30 minutes. So to all of you guys watching, I hope you enjoyed that. To all of you guys not watching and joining soon, if you see me paused, it's because I'm in the bathroom. But yeah, highlights for the Chargers. A great couple of plays. You have a fumble recovery on the opening kickoff, an interception on the second series for the Lions, and 2 touchdowns. 1 passing touchdown by Trey Lance, and 1 rushing touchdown by Kimani Vidal, which is a very, very good touchdown. If you go back and watch the highlights, runs into 3 Lions defenders and manages to fight his way into the end zone. And right now they're knocking on the red zone door. I believe they're on the 13-yard line. They're on the 19-yard line. So we're getting really, this is a really good look for the backups. Quite honestly, in my opinion, really good look for the Chargers backups. Obviously, preseason, most of this means nothing, but to all of those who are watching, this is a really good time to be like, hey, like let's say if Justin Herbert goes down, well, Taylor Heineke is normally the backup quarterback, but Trey Lance is putting up a really good fight to be, hey, I should be the backup quarterback. Jared Allen, by the way, that's who I was talking about earlier. I should have mentioned
that. That's
Jared Allen. Yes,
that's who I was thinking.
Yeah, Jared Allen. We're talking about the Hall of Fame, not nominees, inductees. I believe it's gonna happen tomorrow or on Saturday. Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, Sterling Sharp, and one more. I won't even try and guess who it is, quite honestly, because I don't remember. But we're coming out of break right here, the end of the 2-minute warning. You have the Chargers on the 19-yard line. Trey Lance is in at quarterback. He has 1 passing touchdown. I believe he's got just under 50, maybe 60 yards passing. He's in the gun formation right now. He takes the snap, drops back, throws it up for Trey Harris. Terrible ball. But the attempt was there, and I'll give it to him. You know, that's confidence in your receiver and confidence in your quarterback. So, funny enough, I'm not going to be able to make it all the way until halftime. So I'm going to have you take over for a bit, Joseph.
That is fine.
I will be back, you guys. I apologize for this little delay.
All right. Well, my Lions are not looking good at all. The Chargers, however, looking good. Trey Lance in the gun on 3rd and 6. And that will be a touchdown for the Chargers going up, assuming they make the extra point, 21-7, and they get the ball at the half because the Lions fumbled the opening kickoff. And that was scored by one of those guys that Victor was talking about that he was really big on and was saying who he could be a good solidified number 2 for the Chargers behind Ladd is Keandre Lambert-Smith. And he's also looked good. And Trey Lance has looked good for this Chargers backup quarterback job behind Herbert. He's 9 for 12, 97 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And on the flip side, Kyle Allen for the Lions, no good. He's 8 for 12, 85 yards, but he has 2 interceptions. One of the interceptions was in the red zone, and the other was on a 3rd down, not a good 3rd down ball, about a 10-yard out route, and that route got jumped pretty quickly, and thankfully they didn't score, but the Chargers were able to score a few plays later. So not looking too good here for the Lions, but the Chargers, I'm sure a lot of you guys are Chargers fans. Chargers backups look pretty good here for the first preseason game of the year, but I'm just excited for football to be back. You know, last football game was in February for the Super Bowl, where the Eagles beat the Chiefs, and we finally see. I know none of you guys are probably big fans of the Chiefs, and I'm not a big Chiefs fan either, but I'm sure you guys are happy to see them get absolutely blasted by the Eagles. So,
I missed it.
Victor, how happy were you when the Eagles blasted the Chiefs in the Super Bowl?
Oh, I worked the first half of that game, once I came, quite honestly, I didn't believe it. I thought I was dreaming when I looked at that score line, and I was like, man, what was it, like 27-3, I think. Yeah. Once I
Yeah, it
saw
was a lot. It was a lot to a little.
yeah, once the Eagles scored again, I was like, man, this might be it. Like, I don't think the Chiefs are coming back from this at all. And quite honestly, yeah, watching the Chiefs just get absolutely just slaughtered. Not even. It was an embarrassment. I think they got 2-3 touchdowns back once the fourth quarter started. Two huge touchdowns by Xavier Worthy. But if you guys have seen the meme, oh, Chris Paul hits a huge three to cut the lead down to 42. That's essentially what it
Yeah.
felt like. That is essentially what it was. It was two touchdowns that amounted and would have amounted to nothing, quite honestly, because I mean, that Eagles that Eagles team was just dominant beginning to end.
Yeah,
I'm
I think we got robbed with the Lions Eagles NFC Championship because I think if the Lions were to stay fully healthy,
hmm,
I mean, talk about how good of a game that would have been.
absolutely, and I think they had played during the regular season last year, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they
No.
they haven't played the Eagles in few years actually.
Oh, okay, for sure.
I know they didn't play them last year or the year prior, but I was really looking forward to seeing the Lions play the Eagles, and I think we got robbed of it. But hopefully we see it this year. I think I think a team that does scare me this year in the NFC is the Rams.
The Rams, they're a scary good team.
I
I gotta
think
be
the
honest.
Rams are going to be really good this
Yeah,
year.
especially with oh god, Jared Verse was an absolute monster last season, and he's only
Yeah,
getting bigger. He's only getting stronger. He's only getting better. So it's gonna be a really scary season for the NFC for sure. And normally, like the NFC is always a dominant. Quite honestly, I've always thought it was the dominant conference. The AFC is it's all about star power and stuff like that, but the NFC has always been. It's kind of like the AFC North, but it's one entire conference. It's brutal, head to toe. We're gonna put you in the dirt, and so
hmm
you know that
Yeah,
with.
but then you get to that point in the postseason where the Lions, and you got to go up against that superstar,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, last year the Lions lost two games. One of them was to Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know the NFC isn't filled with superstar quarterbacks like the AFC is, and Mahomes, Herbert, Burrow, Allen, Lamar. But when it comes down to that game, when it's that crossover, you got the NFC, a good hard nosed NFC team going up against a superstar quarterback in the AFC. How is that team going to be able to handle something that they don't see? Someone like Lamar, someone like Josh Allen who will run you over, someone like Mahomes who can somehow get out of the pocket when he looks like he's dead in the water and make a 30-yard pass. How can you handle that? And historically, just in the past few years, every time the Lions have to go up against a superstar quarterback, they can't contain him. They just can't.
Yeah, and quite honestly, most quarterbacks they're only getting more active. They're only getting more athletic. So eventually, when Hutch is out there, they have it. Obviously, they have that one side that needs to get locked down, but you need other players to step up and go ahead and contain. And like I said, because you guys play in a conference where it's, you have, oh God, well, I'm forgetting. You had Sam Darnold. You have
Jordan Love,
you have
Caleb
Jordan Love.
Williams.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, they're athletic, but it's not like they're not Josh Allen, they're not Lamar Jackson, they're not Patrick Mahomes. They don't have that evasive maneuverability, and it's just the NFC. Like I said, not that it's not a superstar heavy conference, but it doesn't have it. You don't have those mobile quarterbacks that love. They could quite honestly run if they wanted to for days. Like they could.
Right. So now with Daniels,
Mm-hmm.
and Hurts as well. You know,
Yeah,
Hurts
absolutely.
can be that running threat. But
Yeah.
other than those two, I mean, all the quarterbacks in that, not all of them. I mean, I think really the only true pocket passers that are starters in the NFL anymore is Stafford, but Stafford's a little mobile, so Stafford can move.
Hmm.
But I think Stafford and Goff are the only like true pocket passers left in the NFL.
Absolutely, I agree, and I mean, not that he can't be mobile, but Geno Smith, you could throw Geno Smith in that. You could throw. I honestly want to start going down the list of the quarterbacks in the league. Honestly, what do you have? Tua. Tua's Tua should. I mean, he
Well,
needs.
Tua is a whole different category because I mean I think he has to be a pocket passer now.
Yeah, it's not much of a choice, but I don't. He never really used his legs to begin with. If I'm gonna be honest with you, like
Right.
Tua, he always kind of wanted to be that pocket passer, but because the Dolphins O line wasn't always the best, he kind of needed to be that evasive,
Mm-hmm.
maneuverable. He got to escape the pocket, run it, take it up the field, and just slide. But it basically with the concussions that he's been suffering, like, yeah, he's gonna have to be a pure pocket passer now. I think other than that, Joe Burrow, I would say Joe Burrow is the closest to being a pure pocket passer. Now, yes, he has the agility, he has the ability, but he would rather most of the time you see him kind of stay in the pocket. You see him kind
Mm-hmm.
of not really want to take it. Like and like I said, you have Josh Allen, you have um Lamar Jackson, you have Jalen Hurts, you have Jaden Daniels. The moment they feel that bit of pressure, it's like, yeah, bye, I'm out of here. So I think that you're absolutely right, but the Lions don't really see too many of those mobile quarterbacks in a year or two where they're like, okay, we really need to keep contained. But I think as football starts progressing, as it always will, you'll start seeing more and more athletic quarterbacks even in the NFC. So, looks like we got the final drive of the first half right here. Trey Lance is going to hand it off to Kamani Vidal, who's just going to take it over to the left. Great run right there, about 6 yards to gain right there. Runs off the tackle. But yeah, I think that this season I'm definitely really excited to just watch football. I think there's so many teams that have just instantly improved, and I know that like we say that and it almost never works out for some teams, but you never know. Honestly, you really never know. Handoff to Naheem Hines, stood up, gain of about maybe one, but I doubt it. But that's gonna take it to halftime. We'll have a halftime recap for you, unless they are gonna run a play. Don't think so. They shouldn't. No reason to. No, it looks like it's gonna be halftime. All right. So we are gonna take a quick break, anyways. Just kind of getting our thoughts together, and we'll come back maybe about I'll say in about 10, 15 minutes. You guys go use your bathroom, eat some food, drink water, whatever. We will be right back. All right, we are back. We are currently talking about how the Cowboys Eagles opening kickoff. That's gonna be an interesting game. Like Jalen Hurts repeating, defending Super Bowl champions. I know Jordan Mayalta said something in a press conference where we're not defending anything because it's a new season, but regardless, we're gonna call them the defending Super Bowl champions. But I'm excited to see the Cowboys with George Pickens. Honestly,
Yeah, I'm really interested to see the Cowboys. I'm always interested in the Cowboys because they always talk such a big game. They're one of those teams that yaps and then they always lose in the first or second round in the playoffs in horrific fashion. And I think last year that they struggled a little bit because Dak was out. But I mean, dude, that division, the NFC East, I don't think a team has won that division 2 times in a row in a long time. So I'm interested to see how Dallas will do, and I'm interested to see with Micah. I think he's looking for a new contract. Jerry's calling him Michael, not Micah.
yeah.
So and we all know how Jerry works. I mean, look at last year. They signed. They're like, when are they going to sign Dak? Going to sign Dak, 60 minutes before opening week, and he signs the biggest contract in NFL history for quarterback. So it'll be interesting to see what the Cowboys will. I think the Eagles are just going to keep on rolling like they did last year.
Yeah, I agree. I agree for sure. I think obviously, like you said, that Micah Parsons contract is gonna be it's got to get done. You know. Oh, looks like he left. No worries. I'll just do this in the meantime. Oh, he's back.
Gosh, dude. Sorry, my internet is
No,
no
you're
go.
all good. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. But yeah, I was just saying that I think it's gonna be a really interesting conference because not only are the Cowboys, a team to watch out for, you also have guess who? The team we were talking about earlier, the Washington Commanders. I almost said Redskins, the Commanders. Because hey, guess what? Jaden Daniels really did have one of the best rookie seasons that you've ever seen, and the issue with them right now is, and we talked about it earlier before we started the game, is Terry McLaurin it's confirmed that he's requesting for a trade, and it's not a contract that a lot of teams are really going to want to give him what he wants. But quite honestly, with the way that Terry McLaurin he's dealt with all of the negativity that the Commanders slash Redskins slash Washington football team has pretty much dealt him. He's been through it all. I think he was one of the first ones to go into the Washington football team. I think he's the oldest member of that team. But it's difficult, It's difficult being with the team that won't support you the way you've supported them, and you don't, especially like someone as athletic and as oh god, what's the word as I'm trying to say? Determined to play the game. He's an extremely great player. He could be one of the best, quite honestly, in my opinion. He to me, he
Yeah,
could be a
I
top
mean,
10 receiver.
like a staple point.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh man, you're cutting out again, man. While he's cutting out, I'll just keep talking.
my internet's
It's crippling you. It's crippling you, man. It's making you.
I know.
Yeah, it's all good though. It's all good. Don't even worry about it. Um, Let me just respond to someone real quick. Respond to 2 people. You guys are all annoying. All right. Um. But yeah, if you look around the league, we'll talk about divisions around the league. We'll start off in the NFC. Talked about the NFC East. Talked about the NFC North. So we'll go the NFC West. You have the Cardinals, Seahawks, Rams, and Niners. And honestly, the Niners are going to be a team to really watch because it seems like they're just out of options offensively. You have CMC, Jawan Jennings, I think, is holding in. And outside of that, Brandon Ayuk is coming back from a knee injury. He never really recovered the first time, and they had a huge fiasco last year, and he never really lived up to it because he got injured. So, um, that's the issue with the 49ers. The Cardinals, K1, Kyler Murray, he's really the issue there. Speaking of the 49ers, Super Bowl will be in Santa Clara this year. But yeah, so speaking of the 49ers, um, currently I'm going to add this real fast. Give me 1 second. Sorry, y'all. Gonna do this. Gonna add something. Oh no. Sorry. You're about to watch me do the ESPN score box and put it right here. Right there. Perfect. Do that. And now look at that. Hey. Or I could move this, honestly. It don't really matter. But, so yeah. Any questions, anyone? Is there anyone here? Any questions that you have for me? This is my first time doing this. I do apologize for not being the best, but I'm learning just as much as you guys are watching. I quite honestly, I feel like, regardless of how this goes, I do want to keep doing this. This is something that I do want to do. So, like I said, if you have any questions, comments, concerns. Oh, that's right. I was going over the divisions. Give me 1 second, you guys. Just 1 second. I apologize to everyone. I know. Technical difficulties. 1 second. All right, everyone. Looks like we're back. Hello. Here we are. Oh, my bad. Hold on. That was really brutal. Hold on. Y'all can still hear me, but watch this. Boom. Fade into it. There you go. So, I was just talking about, I was going around each division and, the highs and lows about it. So, I was on the Niners. Mm-hmm. I said the Niners' issue is offense. That defense will be spectacular anyways. They did lose Dre Greenlaw, which is a big deal. But I think that, other than that, that defense is still going to be stellar. You have Kyle Shanahan there, quarterback whisperer. They have Brock Purdy. He, might be a bit overpaid, but at the same time, he's shown that he's worth a good amount of that money. I was saying the Cardinals are next. The Cardinals' issue is quarterback. It's Kyler Murray. Is he going to live up to the hype that he was, he received when he came out of college, And I understand his stature. He's short. He's really mobile. He makes up for a lot of his plays with his athletic ability, but it's not enough. It's not. They were contenders for about the first 7 weeks of the season, and then after that, they kind of just faltered and never really got back on trail. The next thing is Seahawks. The Seahawks' problem is, I'm going to, again, say quarterback. Sam Darnold is not the answer. Now, Jalen Milroe, I've seen, has been really impressive. And they did just get Cooper Kupp. They have Jackson Smith and Jigba. Trading away DK Metcalf loses that, hey, I got a big play, but now I'm also, losing 15 yards because DK Metcalf decided to go punch someone on the other side of the field. So,
yeah.
You lose the character issues, which is a huge deal as a football coach. And so I would like to say that, the real issue for the Seahawks is really just going to be the quarterback. Is it going to be Jalen Milroe? Is it going to be Sam Darnold? Or are you going to have someone else come in and kind of take it over? We have the kickoff
Yeah,
for the second half going on right now. Go ahead, Joseph. I know you were gonna say something.
yeah. I was just gonna say, like, I think I think Darnold is fully capable of operating that offense. You know, last year we saw him in Minnesota and they went 14-3. You know, so I mean we've seen him have his. I think he's not the Sam Darnold we saw in New York. I think he's changed. I think he understands the game a little more, and I think he can do well. But I think, however, I think that Milrow is intriguing to me in a
Yeah,
sense of what he can do.
yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. Oh, we have Trey Lance still in. Hand off to Jarrett Patterson. He's going to run over to the left. There is a flag on the field. Great run. That's about 20, 25, couple of yards right there. But we're going to see what this flag is. Those are some big linemen. I got to be honest. You look at those linemen, they're huge. Jesus. Might be a hold on the way back. Illegal shift. Oh, God. Perfect. That negates a big play. Just ran by Jarrett Patterson on Dez Fitzpatrick. All right, but we were talking about. Oh God, I forgot what we were talking about. I gotta be honest with you.
We were talking about the divisions.
Yes, yes. Oh, and the Rams. The Rams were next. We were talking about the Seahawks.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna we switch over to the Rams, and quite honestly, the only issue with the Rams is Stafford gonna get hurt again? Because if he does, then that kind of throws a wrench in all of your plans. Because quite honestly, the Rams are Super Bowl contenders, and
They
yet all it takes is a broken pinky or a broken index finger, and all your hopes pretty much go down the drain. So I guess what I'm gonna say is the issue for the Rams is backup quarterback. You just need someone to be a game manager, and they had Stetson Bennett, and I think they just signed someone, if I'm not mistaken, to be their backup quarterback, because it was Jimmy G, unless it is still Jimmy G, but I'm not too sure. But yeah, for the Rams, an issue is the issue for the Rams would just be backups at that point. Their entire defense is really solid. Their offense is really solid with Puka Nacua. You did lose Cooper Kupp, but Puka Nacua pretty much taking over anything that Cooper really needs to do it's really impressive. So I don't know about you. I don't know any issues you think the Rams might have.
Yeah, I think the Stafford healthy is a good point. When he was in Detroit, he had a lot of hand problems, and he's getting up there in age. I think he's probably the second oldest quarterback in the league behind Aaron Rodgers. So I think he's excuse me. I think his health is big for the Rams' success. And then you mentioning Cooper Kupp. I think I'm interested to see, because I know Kupp was hurt for the year last year, but Cooper Kupp's route running and ability to get open is what makes him so good. And I'm worried oh my goodness, more special teams problems for the Lions.
Oh, you might be ahead of me again. Whoops.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're all good. Don't worry about it. Oh, for those who haven't seen it yet, we have the punt over from J.K. Scott. A muffed punt. Oh, man. Recovered by the Chargers at the 6 or 5 yard line. Man, some people might say it's scheming. Some people can blame it on the coach. But quite honestly, this seems like a player issue. And this is a new returner. Who is this? Recovered by Dez Fitzpatrick. Let's see if he even touched it. He definitely touched it. Yeah, bounced up right off his helmet. Smacked back by Dez Fitzpatrick. Recovered by Dez Fitzpatrick. Yeah, no, the Lions they're having issues on the special teams side of the way.
They are.
And it's hurt not only just obviously the team, but it's hurt like their offense. It's hurt the ability for the offense to get in a groove. It's hurt Kyle Allen. And it's hurt, you don't get to see much of.
It's also getting the defense tired. The defense has been out there the whole time.
And now you have Trey Lance rolling right. dumping it. Oh, right off the hands of Des Fitzpatrick. He had that ounce of separation right there in the back of the end zone. Oh man, that could have been nasty. I
That
think we're
was
watching.
close.
Yeah, that's a pretty good pass too for Trey Lance right there.
Yeah, it's catchable, hits him in the hands.
Oh yeah, he
See the
would have gotten
replay
2
here.
feet in. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
slightly too high for the receiver, but still hit him in the hands. He still got to catch that ball. You have Trey Lance under center right now with the power formation. Hands it off to Jaret Patterson, up the middle for about a gain of 1 right there. So, but no, yeah, like you're saying, the Lions, they just can't get off the field. They just can't. Like, granted, the defense has been holding up well for, the means that they've been dealt, the cards they've been dealt. But, Dan Campbell does not look happy.
No, I don't think he ever really does look happy, other than in the locker room after games.
Yeah,
but
no, he doesn't.
you got to think too that the defense is being put in tough spots.
Yeah, absolutely.
Two, the pick and now this, both inside the 10, and then as that ball is thrown incomplete, the first kick return, Chargers get the ball at the 25, so the Lions are playing with a really short field and not a ton of cushion.
Absolutely, yeah, you're right. And they've, like you said, and that honestly, you don't really get too tired because you're playing on a short field, but it's the amount of plays that the Chargers have been running. I think right now, if I could see it somehow, I would say average about. I'd say the Chargers have about 60 plays compared to the Lions, maybe 30. So
yeah, that's probably pretty close.
Yeah, they have about double the time, double the plays on the offensive side of the ball. So that only, realistically, your defense is out there for 60 plays. Your special teams has been out there for about 5. Your offense has been out there for about 30. Like if there's a side that's, that needs help, clearly it's that defense, and it's the offense's job to do that for you. And clearly they're not doing it for you. So the offense has to get it together. Maybe putting Hendon Hooker in is going to be the answer. Maybe, the Lions, they come back, they win this game, or they fall short just like they did with Kyle Allen. It might not be. Well, no, actually, I would say this. It is the decision-making of Kyle Allen that has definitely put the Lions in this spot. 2 interceptions. That's, I would say one of them actually didn't lead to anything, actually. Yeah, so only one led to a touchdown. The other one just kind of, luckily, the defense held their ground. But
yeah, so, if you look at it, all of the Chargers' points have come off of turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. Other than the one. So the Lions have 4 turnovers, 2 fumbles on special teams, and 2 interceptions from Kyle Allen. So now I think we're going to see Hendon Hooker from here on out, I think.
Yeah, I doubt, without any reason, I doubt we'll see anyone other than Hendon Hooker at this point.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see him. I like Hendon Hooker. I think he has the potential to be very good.
Oh, for sure.
As a backup for Jared Goff, but I tell you what, if he comes out and does the same thing Kyle Allen does, there's going to be a serious problem because, the way the Lions looked last year with all the injuries, if Goff goes down, that was my big concern last year as well. I was like, I've seen all these injuries. I was like, gosh, like I pray Goff doesn't get injured, because I think if Goff would have gotten injured last year, wouldn't have been close to what they did last year. You look at some of the Lions wins, and the Lions were winning games by 10 points, but they were scoring 40. So
yeah,
I think health is going to be huge for the Lions team this year.
Health is huge for, I would say the Lions team, any team really.
Every team it is health. Health is a big thing. And, the Lions got unlucky last year with a week 5 bye.
Yeah.
Or week 6. So
early bye for sure.
Yeah, so this year they have a week 8 bye, which is a little better. but I do think like the first 7 games are really tough games. You know, they go. First game is at Green Bay, and then they're home against Chicago. So you have 2 division games right off the bat.
Mm.
You have at Green Bay, which we've dominated Green Bay the past few years. Been lucky enough to do so. And then week 2, home, Ben Johnson returning. That Ford Field's going to be insane.
Rocking.
And then you get to this hard stretch where you have Cleveland, which is, should be a win. And then here's the hard stretch. Then you go Baltimore, or excuse me, I think, here's Hendon Hooker. Yeah.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? He's got that mobile ability.
What a play right there. I know you were talking. I was watching and listening to you, but man, what a play. Get out the sack, and I had a free rusher in his face, got out of it, spun out of it. Gain of about 2 or 3 right there on a mini rush. But, no, yeah, that first couple of weeks for the Lions is brutal, but it's also, it's got to be
the
exciting.
Lions can legit be 2-5 going into the bye. If you think about it, so it's Chicago or Green Bay, then Chicago, and then I think it's Baltimore week 3, and then Cleveland week 4, and then this is probably one of the hardest stretches. Then you're at Cincy, at Kansas City, home against Tampa.
Yeah, which realistically, if you're the Lions, your best outcome is coming out 2-1. That's the best outcome. Now, realistically, you could be like, oh yeah, we'll go 3-0. You won't go 3-0 in that stretch. At Cincy, not a good time. At Kansas City, not a good time. At home against Tampa, I would say I kind of want to put that as an automatic lock for a win, but it's the NFL. You never know. And Tampa is a pretty interesting team.
One of the Lions' losses last year was week 2 to Tampa.
Yep, absolutely.
So, it's always Tampa always gives the Lions problems. And also what I will say about Cincy is I know it's at Cincy. I am confident we can outscore Cincy. I think our defense is much better than Cincy's defense. Cincy has gone all in on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
And I will say Goff 2-0 against Mahomes.
Yeah, so I would. I like that, but Mahomes and Burrow are 2 different people. Hendon Hooker.
Correct.
Oh, Hendon Hooker. I don't know what that was.
That was no good.
Yeah, so we've been talking over the first series from Hendon Hooker in the second half. His first play was really good. The second play was a running play, called back for holding. His third was another run, which I think they got about 4. And this last play was absolutely abysmal. Oh, my God. Threw it to about, nobody. Almost threw an interception on his first series, kind of like Kyle Allen. So, not a good start for Hendon Hooker either, but he's getting back into it, so hopefully we'll see a little bit more improvement from him as the game goes on. Punt over to Nyheim Hines. He lets it roll to about the 22-yard line for the Los Angeles Chargers. They'll start on their own 22. So, yeah, speaking about that stretch, we'll touch on the AFC North next. Hold on, we have a flag. So, realistically,
yeah, I will say if I wasn't doing this, I would not be watching this anymore.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Hey, if you want to quit it, we can. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, not that there's nothing to talk about the Lions for, but there's, it's hard to talk about the Lions because it's been pretty negative. But our job is to talk about any and everything. So let's discuss the Lions a bit, Kyle Allen's not been good. Craig Reynolds is the only bright spot that I've seen so far, along with Isaac Tesla. I want to see him get the ball a little bit more, but it looks like they might have shut him down.
It looks really good.
Yeah. Other than that, not much improvement anywhere else. The defense has been exhausted. They've made decent plays, but it's almost not enough at all. So I unfortunately can't speak much on their defense, but luckily enough,
Yeah, the offense and special teams have just put the defense in a tough spot. Mm-hmm. So, I'm not blaming them too much. When they've had more field to work with, they've looked better. But I will say that I've always really concerned with the Lions secondary,
Mm-hmm.
and the secondary has not looked the greatest so far today. But
Mm-hmm.
like we've been saying, they're put in a tough spot. They've been on the field for a long time. The Chargers are putting together drives and Lions are going 3-and-out. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's never good for the defense when they're resting for 3-4 plays and then they're back there. So to be honest, there's really not a whole bunch of positives that I'm seeing from the Lions.
Yeah, I don't blame you, and I will say one positive actually has been the emergence of Rock Ya-Sin as a tackler, because he's been laying the boom out there to the running backs that run over to his side, and quite honestly, haven't seen the Chargers run over to the left side of the field a lot often. So I would say Rock Ya-Sin actually is another guy you want to keep an eye on, especially making the final 53. I think he'll make it. But with the way he's playing, he deserves some playing time for sure. He's been a veteran in the league. As Nyheim Hines takes power drive into the ground. Nyheim Hines takes a 5-yard gain, gets pile driven into the ground. But
I hear you. I see you too.
Am I moving or am I
your Zoom's working?
All right.
Yeah, you're moving.
All right. To anyone who is watching, I see I have one viewer. Don't worry, I'm back. But
I think that's me.
Is it you? I don't matter. It don't matter, man. Like I said, hey, people can watch this back whenever they want. But
yeah, true.
Yeah, I mean, realistically. Oh man, Trey Lance is still in. I thought they were gonna take him out. Trey Lance is in. Motion Gadsden takes the snap, hands it off to Scott Matlock, the defensive lineman that's also a fullback. I don't think he got it. I think he was short, by the way. It looked like his knee was way down, way before he was even, he took one step and his knee was down, I'm almost certain. Oh, they said first down. Look at that. Perfect, I guess. Something to talk about, though. My parlays, none of them hit. If anyone does any sports betting, none of them hit. So, to all of you who prayed on my downfall, y'all prayed hard enough. Don't you worry. I dislike every single one of you anyways. But, we got Trey Lance under center. It's taking the snap. Another handoff to Hassan Haskins. Runs it over to the left. No Rock Ya-Sin in, so he's going to take it up for about a gain of 8 yards. Beautiful. Thank God Rock Ya-Sin is off the field. But, no, yeah, so something I would say that I'm surprised that I'm not seeing is DJ, I'm not even going to try and say his last name, DJU from Clemson and Florida State. If you guys remember, he was a quarterback at St. John Bosco here in Southern California. Not Southern California. Yeah, I think it is Southern California. Trey Lance rolling out to his right. Dumps it off to Hassan Haskins. It's a first down for the Chargers. Gain of about 7 or 8 right there. But, yeah, he was a quarterback here in Southern California at St. John Bosco. He was a top recruited quarterback. Went over to Clemson. Never worked out at Clemson. Went over to Florida State. Did not work out at Florida State. And somehow he's in the NFL. So I'm a little concerned that he's on the Chargers. But I am he seemed to be really decent in training camp. So I'm a little surprised that he's not getting more playing time. I'm surprised that you have, that's a good run by Hassan Haskins right there. A gain of about another 8. I'm surprised you're not seeing him. I'm surprised you're not seeing, thank you, Dad. I see you're here. I'm surprised you're not seeing more of Omarion Hampton. He got 1 series and then was taken out. I was kind of hoping you'd see about 3 or 4 from him. Trey Harris got about 3 series and never really threw him the ball. They threw him the ball once. Could just be he wasn't getting open, so we'll have to wait and see. Kamani Vidal tries to take it up the middle, gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Great rally tackling by the Lions defense right there. But I think what we're talking.
I didn't know DJ Uiagalelei was on the Chargers. He was horrifically bad in college, I thought. Like, shockingly bad. Because I remember when his freshman year at Clemson, I was like, oh man, this kid's going to be good. As Vidal makes a big gain there. But he was shockingly bad at Clemson. And I was quite honestly surprised. And then, transfers to Florida State, and I was thinking, all right, he could do well there. And it was the same thing at Clemson we saw when he was at Florida State, and it was just, I'm actually shocked he made a NFL roster.
Yeah, I understand it's a preseason game, so obviously you're gonna give everyone a shot. But yeah, him being on the undrafted free agent, oh my god, him being on the undrafted free agent list with the Trey Lance pass right down the middle, gain of about 10 right there. Him being on the Chargers undrafted free agent list, I was a little concerned because I was like, interesting, considering they re-signed Taylor Heineke. They had signed Trey Lance. Oh, man, I just saw that. Trey Lance almost fumbled the ball on the snap. But, yeah, seeing another quarterback kind of thrown into the competition, I'm just like, that's interesting. So I'm really curious to see what it is that the Chargers are looking for with this undrafted free agent signing. But quite clearly you can see Trey Lance is going to take that number 3 spot if they ever need it, which I don't think they will. But... oh man, apologies to all who are watching. I have not stopped yawning the entire day. Trey Lance rolls over to his right, escapes, and makes a gain of about 4 right there. But yeah, so going back to the divisions that we were talking about, I think we did say about Cincinnati. Cincinnati, their issue is all their money's on the offensive side of the ball. It's almost zero money is almost on the defensive side of the ball, and that's a little concerning because... everyone knows.
Yeah.
Defense, it doesn't win you championships, but it gets you pretty damn close.
Absolutely. And you see, with Trey Hendrickson, I mean, he's still in, I believe he did report to training camp. However, I still think he's in contract negotiations with the Bengals. And he was one of those guys last year when Hutch went down and, oh my gosh. Oh, no, I'm yawning too. He was one of those guys when Hutch went down and the Lions were talking about getting a defensive end. He was that guy. I was like, that's who the Lions should go get is Hendrickson. And, they ended up not going with him and going with Za'Darius Smith. But he's one of those. I would love to see him in a Lions uniform.
Yeah, for sure. I doubt they'll trade him, but oh man, incomplete. But at least they called it a touchdown.
He was out for sure.
A Trey Lance touchdown to Campbell. It's not gonna stand.
He's out.
Yeah,
he's
not gonna stand. Jonathan, this is the wrong game. We're not talking about no Pittsburgh here. We will get to them, but we're not talking about them right now. But I don't even think he had control of the ball all the way. Let's see right here. That's a offensive pass interference anyway.
He only had one.
Yeah, he never had a full foot in there. Yeah, so that was incomplete, not even close. So so I think Trey Hendrickson, it's gonna be a problem for the Bengals for sure. You gotta sign him, or you gotta trade him because, quite honestly, you're not supposed to treat your star defensive player. By the way, you already let go Cam Taylor-Britt. You already let go of their star Jermaine Pratt, I believe, who was their leading linebacker either the season before last season or the season before that. But that's not, these are 2 defensive keys. They're 2 defensive blocks, pillars that if you just let go, yeah, you're going to suffer. If your entire goal is to outscore a team, once you start hitting that December wind and that December winter, you're not doing it. And quite honestly, that's been when the Bengals' struggles have started. It's been the last 3 seasons that every time you get in that December wind, oh my God. every time you get in that December wind, that December cold, it starts getting a little bit harder to throw the ball. You got to start running the ball a bit more. And when you had Joe Mixon, it was okay because you had that balance. You don't have Joe Mixon anymore. Granted, he's in Texas. It's a little bit warmer there. You know, they don't really play the cold teams in December. But, yeah, it's harder to pass the ball in the cold. And obviously, that's what the Bengals' power is. It's, hey, we're going to pass the ball. We're going to throw it all over you. And there's not much you can do to stop it. Now, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and their third option, what is his name? Ivaka.
Yeah. I don't know
Yeah.
how to pronounce it though.
He's Princeton Star Track runner. Like it was really cool when I saw him. But yeah, once you can't it gets harder. You know, your muscles get stiffer in the cold. It's harder to stay warm, even if you're running routes the entire time. That instant cold is just it freezes you almost instantly. It's harder to be mobile in that. It's harder to run routes, especially and you don't play in the snow often. So I'd love to see the Bengals trying to play in a snow game. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, and another thing I think with Cincinnati is if you look, it's like the first week in September, they're like one of the worst teams in football. Like last year, they lose opening game to the Patriots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
You know, they scored 10 points.
You're right.
So I think Cincy's problem is they dig themselves in a hole too quick, and then especially in the AFC where, you know, it's guaranteed basically minimum 10 wins you have to have to get into the playoffs. You know, the Bengals they're 2-3 going into week 6, and they're fighting for wins, and that's when they get to the heart of the division when they're playing Pittsburgh, when they're playing Cleveland, and you know, I know Cleveland's not the greatest team, but Cincinnati always struggles against Cleveland.
Well,
And then you
Cleveland's
Baltimore, you know, so it's like they dig themselves in a hole too quick sometimes.
Cleveland's definitely a team where regardless of who they're playing, they're gonna give it their all. That's just true about every single NFL team you play. Like, let's be honest, when the 0-16 Clevelands were going on, they were in one-score games. I think about 40% of their games. Like they were in there, they just couldn't finish the game. And it's just like that. It's every year, regardless of the team you're playing. Like, it will always be to the end. Oh man, I gotta take a Red Bull or something. I gotta start drinking something to stop yawning. But quite honestly, you never really see teams just give up. You had a handoff from Hendon Hooker to I gotta find out this running back's name. He runs hard. Small. Crazy.
Oh yeah, he runs hard.
Yeah, he runs hard. He's got a lot of heart. Maybe not the best running back he got, but he runs hard. He's got a lot of heart. You can see it. Now I want to see the Lions incorporate more Hendon Hooker throws, but it looks like the rest of their game plan is it's play action. It's if we can't run the ball, then we're gonna zone read stuff like that. So here we go, a pass Hendon Hooker. To love it, great spin. That's the first down right there.
Yeah, but I think talking about Cleveland, I think what I'm really interested to see is their quarterback situation.
Oh, absolutely.
I think I think Cleveland, I think they have one of the best defenses in the league, you know. They've always had a good defense, even when their offense has struggled. But I think I'm really interested to see in what they decide to do with the quarterback situation. I think Joe Flacco will start week 1. But I'm curious to see what they do with Gabriel and Shador. Now, if you go back on our first podcast, we did it before the NFL draft. And if you remember, I said I wasn't super big on Shador. And I said if he doesn't go in the top 10, he's not going in the first round.
Yeah, and you were right.
He goes the fifth round.
Yeah, you went. Was it the 5th or the 6th?
I believe it was. I think it was the 5th round. Okay. I think it was the 5th.
Way, it was a late round. Like he was a late.
Yeah,
round
late.
Pick. And quite honestly, everyone you knew was like, "Oh, that's disrespectful to him." It's insane that you would. And quite honestly, it looks like he's been extremely impressive in training camp. It looks like he was extremely impressive in OTAs, the rookie OTAs. So, quite honestly, was it disrespectful for them to draft him that low? Yes, I feel like personally, you drafted him after you drafted another quarterback. That's even more disrespectful. So I think this quarterback challenge in Cleveland it's really interesting because, like you said, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, both have been in the league for years. Joe Flacco has a Super Bowl win. Kenny Pickett has a Super Bowl win, but Kenny Pickett was a backup to Jalen Hurts last year. Joe Flacco won the Super Bowl on his not on his own back, but as the starting QB. We have
Mhm.
Ryan down right now. I think he's a tight end. Oh, Kenny Yeboah, look at that. Speaking of Kenny Yeboah, that was one of my bet picks, and he's down, which actually really
Trouble.
it's actually really depressing actually when you think about it because like we
Ah,
said it's always someone that they're everyone who fights this especially this late in a preseason game, you're fighting for a spot, you're fighting to even get in that final 72 or that final like 60. And it's like
mm.
now granted it's a lot harder now for teams because you go straight from 93, 94 players to straight 53. It's all like 2 weeks before the first season, the first game. So yeah, seeing injuries this late in the game, especially a preseason game, you feel really bad for the guy because you can tell, hey, I'm here and I'm fighting for this spot, and if I'm not doing well and if I'm hurt, like you don't really get that repetition and that playing time that you really need, and it's really upsetting for those.
Yeah, and it's just never, you don't want anyone to get hurt, but
Yeah.
especially when, you know, for my team at least, it's I hate seeing the injuries, especially in preseason. So gives me nightmares.
Oh, I don't blame you, dog. I don't blame you at all. So we'll have to wait and see. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna fix this real fast. If you guys hear my voice starting to lower, I am lowering the volume on my mic because it looks like I'm yelling sometimes. So, um, oh, we've been live for almost 3 hours. Look at that. If you guys have stayed here for the
Oh
entire three
yeah.
hours, thank you. I owe you $1. If not, you owe me 7.
Ah,
But no, yeah. So,
all right, John. Let's talk about Pittsburgh.
oh yeah, Pittsburgh. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers and his inability to even play football anymore. All right, this man,
Ah,
this man, he's old, he's retired, and he knows it. He said it's gonna be his last year, and so not to not to say he can't play anymore, but the way he moves, the way he throws the ball, the way he scans the field, it all seems too slow. It doesn't like, and granted, that's me watching only clips of training camp here and there. Granted, everyone's a pretty big hater of Aaron Rodgers right now, so you won't really see that. You won't really see like, hey, what is he actually doing that's right? How is he helping the rest of his teammates? And I know that the Steelers drafted Will Howard, right? They drafted Will Howard, and I could quite honestly I was like, I think they could turn Will Howard into something. I do. I do think they could turn Will Howard into something. And then they went and signed Aaron Rodgers. And I'm just like, why? Why would you do that? So, quite honestly, I think the signing of Aaron Rodgers wasn't the greatest idea, but I don't see why it's really an issue. You need a quarterback with that veteran experience, especially someone who's won a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. So, I think this can help the Steelers in the long term if he can coach Will Howard correctly. Great pass by Hendon Hooker, by the way. 5 yard gain right there. You have about a third and about 4. So
so
the
me growing up a Lions fan, I really dislike Aaron Rodgers. Um, it would be stupid of me not to say that at one point he was one of the best quarterbacks in the league. However, he is 41 years old right now. This is his second season coming off a torn ACL, or sorry, Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Pittsburgh is already on thin ice. I think a lot of people in Pittsburgh, I'm not from Pittsburgh, I don't know, but it seems to me that people in Pittsburgh like the the consistency in Pittsburgh of going 9-8, 10-7, and then losing in the first round of the playoffs. Now, I would not be a fan of Rodgers coming in as a Pittsburgh fan because he's all about himself. I don't think he's at a point where he wants to be coached, he wants to learn new things. And I think that that is a problem when you go into a place like Pittsburgh, who has such a established, mindset and an established franchise where everything is so, to the book. And I think he's the guy who's on the backside of the book. He's the one. He doesn't want to open it even. So I'm not the biggest fan of Rodgers going to Pittsburgh, and I think that we could see their first losing season under wow, I cannot believe I'm drawing a blank.
Mike Tomlin.
Yeah. So
I agree.
I don't know. I mean, I think the Pickens trade was the second I saw the Steelers get DK, I immediately knew they would trade Pickens because they are almost identically the same receiver in a sense that they're just a deep ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
With good hands.
Yeah.
So as the Lions go for it on fourth down and get stuffed. So this game is probably over. But that's my opinion on Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I think they'll take third in the division. Probably go. No, I think they're gonna have a losing. I think they're gonna be below 500 this year. I just don't think Aaron Rodgers is the answer. However, I will say, I think that again, here's me growing up as a Michigan fan and not like Ohio State. I do think Will Howard has the potential to be a really good NFL quarterback. He almost reminds me of a Josh Allen. I don't think he's as fast or as aggressive running the ball as Josh Allen, but he's the same size as Josh Allen. He's got a cannon of an arm, and I mean, you saw in the Michigan game and in the Oregon game, he had some not smart plays, but I think overall his decision making is really good. I mean, if you just watch him in the college football playoffs last year, his decision making was good.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that I would not be shocked if by week 12 Will Howard is the starting quarterback in Pittsburgh.
I think that's fair to say. I was talking to a couple of friends, and I was like, I was talking to actually Jonathan. I was telling him that I think Will Howard should be your starter automatically. And I said it when we started this topic. Will Howard should be the starter automatically. I think you need to put your full faith in him regardless of how this season goes, regardless of how like the first losing record under Mike Tomlin. Regardless of that, you have to stick with Will Howard because guess what? You're a football program. You're trying to build people. and a lot of people, they like, especially in college, it's not a program anymore. It's just about winning. So you're not building up. Like you don't go in as an automatic starter. You go in and you work your way up. You work by learning the program. You work by learning, the plays and the techniques and the way that the coach wants it run. And then from there you can add your own spin to it. So I think Tom Brady said it one time. It's designed to make superstars. It's not designed to make football players. And NIL, like it really hurts. NIL really hurts the fact that, a lot of people can just kind of transfer wherever for more money. Let's look at Nico Ima Yamavala.
Imavala,
Yeah, the Tennessee quarterback that went from Tennessee to UCLA
UCLA.
simply because of money, and like I understand, I get it, I understand. Like me personally, would I rather take money over playing? Yes, sometimes. Yeah, I feel like maybe I would, but at the same time, like I just had a pretty successful season with Tennessee. I made it to a bowl game, and I wouldn't play because they weren't gonna pay me more money. That just seems it seems it's unloyal. It's dishonest. It's terrible for the game of football, honestly. So
Yeah, I've never been a big fan of NIL. I think it ruins the whole point of college sports because once you start paying athletes, in my eyes, they are a professional.
yeah,
No matter
absolutely.
how they're paid, they
Mm-hmm.
are now a professional.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think it ruins the culture of college football, like you mentioned, in a sense where people are just chasing the money and they're not there for the tradition, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You go to Notre Dame for the tradition, you go to USC for the tradition,
Mm-hmm.
you go to Michigan for the tradition, you know? So I think that the NIL completely ruins that, where you see guys bouncing from school to school just because this school is paying me more than this school is.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to feel bad for college athletes when they would get ripped on Twitter for dropping a ball and, losing a game. But now,
Mm-hmm.
that receiver's getting 800K a year.
Mm-hmm.
Catch football,
Yeah.
catch the football.
Mm-hmm.
I
Sure.
don't feel bad for them anymore
Yeah.
because they're making money from playing football. So I am not a big fan of NIL. I think it's great for the athletes to get paid and get what they deserve, but at the same time, I think it ruins college sports. That's just my opinion.
No, yeah, I completely agree, and it's just granted, like scholarship athletes always got something, you know,
Hmm.
they got a full ride. I don't know if that includes. I don't know if that includes, housing and stuff like that, but I'm almost certain it does. I'm almost certain it includes
Hmm.
food, it includes housing, it includes, transportation, something like that. But like I understand, like I understand that it's hard. It's hard getting paid and you just drop a ball and like as a fan you're just like, well, you're getting paid now. Catch the
Yeah.
ball. Catch like if you did it when you weren't getting paid, I'd be a little bit more like, oh, like he's got the full ride, but he's not really getting like he can't touch any money. Like he can't get any money. He can't have a job. Can't make any money off his name and likeness. You can't do that. And now it's you can catch the ball, or run the ball, or don't fumble, or make the pass, or make the block, anything like that. So it is ruining college football in the fact that it used to be such an emotional game, and now it's like, well, they're getting paid. They could kind of care.
Yeah, and then you start thinking, it's like, man, well, what if that was a thing 20 years ago? Like, imagine a guy like Johnny Manziel.
Oh man, yeah.
Imagine a guy like Jameis Winston, Marcus
Mm-hmm.
Mariota, Tim Tebow. Imagine those guys. RG3.
Cam Newton, you have
Imagine
all
how
these
much.
players,
Yeah,
yeah.
Cam Newton. Imagine how much those guys would have made an NIL and missed out on an
Mm-hmm.
NIL. So you had, if you watch the Johnny Manziel documentary on Netflix, which is really good. Um, there's Texas A&M sold almost 500,000 number two jerseys with Manziel on the back.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't get a single penny for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in a sense it's good for them to get their school paid for, housing. But when you start giving an 18-year-old freshman, you know, almost $1 million, if I was 18 and had that much money, I would who knows what I would have done with it? I would have spent it all.
No, absolutely, yeah, and I agree. So it's a matter of like, oh well, I'm getting paid this. Honestly, I lost my train of thought when I was where I started going with this, but I think personally, NIL, is it worth it for the players? Yes. Is it worth it for the fans? Not really, because you see more of a decline in in production. You see more of a decline in the quality of the play, the quality of football, and it's a shame because college football, you know, quite honestly, was more exciting than the NFL at one point. It really was. And
Yeah.
now with the introduction of NIL, everyone's like, well, I mean, if I don't go to this big school, I won't get the money.
I think it does somewhat ruin rivalries as well.
Yeah.
I think there are a few, rivalries that are set in stone that no matter, you got a guy that's getting paid X amount of dollars to come play here, but guess what? They're taught that they don't like this school. It's just like, look at, in my opinion, I think the greatest rivalry in all of sports is Michigan Ohio State.
Absolutely.
I think it is. And at Michigan, you're not allowed to wear red on campus. At Ohio State, all the M's have a red X through them. You're told Ohio State, you don't like the team from up north. I mean, look at what I have here, hanging up right in the room. I mean, look at this.
Let me see that. Oh,
My two
yeah.
favorite teams, Michigan and anyone who beats Ohio State.
I love that. I do.
So like, it's
Oh.
it almost ruined. I think there's a few rivalries that are set in stone. That will never get old to me. Ohio State, the game.
The game.
The Iron Bowl,
yeah.
Ohio or Auburn and Alabama.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, USC.
Yeah, great.
Those are good rivalries. Even Notre Dame, Miami.
Oh, Catholics versus convicts every time that goes on.
Yeah, I mean, I still think like North Carolina and
South
NC
Carolina.
State and North Carolina, South Carolina. Those are always good.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Those are good always.
I think the best SEC rivalry would be Alabama. As of right now, it's Alabama Georgia, but you see people just kind of flip flopping from there. But yeah, Alabama and Auburn, the Iron Bowl, man, like every single time, it's like you have to watch that game. You can't not watch that game. And then, like you said earlier, USC and Notre Dame and Miami, USC Texas, like I know.
Oh yeah. Oklahoma Texas.
Oklahoma Texas, the Red River rivalry. Oh, dude, there's certain rivalries that they will withstand the test of time, but you can kind of feel that the passion behind it's not the same.
Yeah, and it just isn't.
And so I'm actually, because I'll leave it up. Actually, I was gonna remove the score box, but we're not really talking about the game anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, but we'll just leave it up there. We'll leave it up there. Just if you guys are here because of it, I'll leave it up there. But no, yeah, there's certain rivalries that they withstand the test of time, but at the same time they're getting filtered out too. And it's just it's a shame because it was never. That's not what it was meant to be. Like, this was a really good bonding moment. You go to certain colleges because of you go to certain colleges because, hey, this is the best program, and I might not play here, but when I'm a junior, senior, I'll play here. When I'm a junior, senior, I'll be a baller because I've been in this program, and I've been learning the way Kirby Smart runs his defense, Kirby Smart runs his offense, either one. As Hendon Hooker gets sacked right here. But, yeah, no, you always want to see those rivalries, especially, like, the Iron Bowl and the game, those are games that you always want to see.
Rivalry week, I mean, my eyes are glued to that television, man.
Exactly.
There is nothing on that Saturday can get my eyes off the TV.
Mm-hmm.
I will, like, the cool thing about here is that, I mean, that's always Thanksgiving week. So, I have Lions on Thursday, always. Lions always play on Thursdays on Thanksgiving. And then, You know, you have recently we've been getting the Black Friday games for the NFL. I think that's arguably the greatest week of sports.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all.
And I mean, just football, and then you have, you sprinkle some NBA in there,
Hmm.
and it's an electric week of sports. Thanksgiving is, Thanksgiving. You have the football. Friday, you have they added the Black Friday games, and you throw some NBA, and then that Saturday is the rivalry week, and that week, like look at last year with Georgia Tech. I mean, goes into 4 overtimes. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, anything can happen in rivalry week. I mean, look at last year. I mean, last year, you know, Michigan was 5-6 going on the road to Columbus.
Oh yeah, and they won that game.
I mean, and they win.
Yeah.
I mean, they win 13-10.
I think you said it, but they were away. They were in. Oh, you did on the road to Columbus. You did
Yeah.
say it. Yeah, and it was crazy because
That's
everyone was
right.
like, "Oh, Ohio State wants to be Michigan. They want to be the one that pounds the rock, and they want to be." And I remember people were saying like, "That's not what Ohio State is. Ohio State's that finesse. It's that style. It's that they beat you with their flair and they beat you with their swag and like that's and quite honestly, it's true. That's how they would do it." And sorry, I just realized DJ Ulugeli is in the game right now. Hands it off to Hassan Haskins. Is breaking a couple tackles. Gains about, I'd say 14 right there. But no, yeah, and I remember reading that and I was like, that's actually interesting because you have, sorry, offside on the defense. Another flag for the Lions, man. We really gotta. They're gonna be running. They're gonna be running.
Oh,
They are gonna
yeah.
be running on Saturday. But yeah, I genuinely believe that Ohio State, Michigan, that's a game that, like we were talking about. There's rivalry games that they'll never lose their steam. And
Yeah.
regardless of the NIL, but we transferred all the way from Pittsburgh to the NIL,
Yeah.
and that's crazy. But no, yeah, I think that great pass by DJ, great catch by Brendan Rice. By the way, Brendan Rice is another receiver that I've always wanted to see flourish, and yeah, I loved him at USC. I loved him when they drafted him, but they never use him. It looks like he's just not athletic enough to be in the NFL. Hopefully, he gets his chance, but we'll see. However, we'll move over to Baltimore. Baltimore's weakness, Kansas City. Baltimore's
Yeah.
weakness, the playoffs.
Kansas City and Buffalo.
Yeah, they can't.
Haskins, good
Oh
run
man,
there.
oh big hits right there. Look at that, gain of about 8 or 9 right there. Hassan Haskins, I went to the Chargers training camp, and I sat not front row, but I was pretty close to where the running back drills were. This man is enormous.
Oh yeah.
This man, I think he's like 6'4", 225 pounds, and it shows. It shows that
he's
like,
a big dude.
he's a big dude, man. He's not like he makes Omari and Hampton look small. I want you to know that. I think Hampton's 6'3" something, and look at this. He's huge. Not great footwork, not great speed, but once he's downhill and running at you, you want to get out the way. It hurts. It looks like it hurts. But so yeah, Baltimore, their weakness, Kansas City,
and Buffalo.
and Buffalo. Next would probably be I don't even. There's not much weakness. Maybe their firepower for their offense, but not even.
Yeah, maybe the receiving core.
Yeah, because I mean they have Isaiah Likely, they have Mark Andrews, they have Justice Hill, who funny enough he's a really good receiving back. Honestly, Derrick Henry not really. Justice Hill is a pretty good receiving back. Oh, DJ
Zay
with a
Flowers.
deep throw. That was a soft pass interference, but he never did get his hand around. It was always in his body. We might see another touchdown here from the Chargers. I'm sorry to your Lions, but they've been on the field
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to see the time till they start passing the time of possession, because it'll probably be about 30 to like 15 right now.
It's actually pretty close, surprisingly.
Yeah. Is it? You have it?
20, 28-14 as of right now for the Chargers, 25-49 for the Lions.
Oh, wow. That's way closer than I thought it was.
Yeah, it is actually. Well, that is a lot closer than I thought as well.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't know. I just feel like the Chargers offense is just on the field the whole game.
Oh. Oh, man. Gain of about 9 right there. No. Where did they start off on? Well, Chargers are about at the 2-yard line of the Detroit Lions. So we're about to see either a touchdown or, the Lions could stuff him right here. And I think we were talking about it earlier. The defense has been out the entire time, but hey, funny enough, this scoreline doesn't reflect the way they've played because they've held their own for a long time. It could be a lot worse for the Detroit Lions.
It could be, And another thing too is like to think about as well as, we keep saying it, but they're getting such a short field to work with.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's not like the Chargers are having these huge, long, methodical drives. It's, they're starting at their own 40 or the Lions 40.
Mm-hmm.
They're just chipping away at them. But I do find this a tad bit concerning, to be honest.
No, yeah, absolutely. But obviously, like we said, these are their backups. These are like their third, fourth stringers at this point. These are the players that, unfortunately, most of them will probably get cut.
Big stuff.
Right
there
here?
We go.
Let's see. Oh, man, not even close. Look at that. It's making their, like we said, they make their stands.
I think the Lions, they're I mean, look at that stat they have up on the screen there. Weeks 1 through 13, 16.9 points allowed a game.
Mm-hmm.
And then weeks 14 through 18, 27.8 points. So, and I will say, the Lions' red zone defense last year was really good. So I think, that helped him a lot, but this is still a bit concerning to me.
They called a touchdown here. Interesting. Let's see. Kimani Vidal ran over to the right side, maybe got in the end zone. We're about to see if he broke the play before his knee. Let's see right here.
I think he's in.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's in. Yeah, that's touchdown for sure. Touchdown Chargers. Let's go. Let's go. Kimani Vidal, drafted last year. I've said this multiple times, but I gotta make sure everyone knows. Drafted last year out of Temple, if I'm not mistaken. He was a good, he would go in a lot because Gus Bradley was hurt. Not Gus Bradley. Yeah, Gus Bradley was hurt. J.K. Dobbins was hurt. So they ended up, kind of pushing a load on him, but they also did sign Hassan Haskins. So we'll see if he ends up making the 53. But he's making a good case for it tonight. So we'll have to wait and see when season starts. 34-7 for the Chargers. Obviously, you can see it down low underneath us. But, great showing by the offense all around. The Lions, unfortunately, like he was saying, like my good friend Joe right here was saying. Sorry, my classmate Joe. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, the Lions, not too much to talk about other than I'd say about 3 players. One has already been a proven player. God, I forgot his name. Craig Reynolds, yeah. Isaac Tesla, great 2 plays that they gave him, But then they kind of stopped using him, and they pretty much shut him down once halftime came around. And Rocky Ya-Sin, when he was in the game, he was a force to be met with when they ran over to the outside. So I think that while there is obviously negatives, there are bright sides. And that defense, while they have given up 34 points, I believe 3 of their touchdowns they gave up were under a 30-yard drive. So it's tough to hold for just under 30 yards because teams are kind of built to score quick. So other than that, I think we're gonna have to move over to what division were we on? We were AFC North.
Yeah, that was it in the AFC North. So because we were on the Ravens,
Yeah,
so
so we
I
have
I mean they're I think the Ravens are the Ravens. They're gonna go 12-5, 13-4,
yeah.
14-3.
Mhm.
You know, so
Mhm.
Lamar's just that good, and Derrick Henry's just that good, and
Yeah.
their defense is phenomenal, and I mean the Harbaughs know what they're doing.
Yeah,
So
absolutely, for sure.
I'm excited to see that division. I think Cincinnati, just because they can score so many points,
Mhm.
they should. I think they'll get in this year if Burrow can stay healthy. Um, but I'm excited. I think there's a lot of good divisions this year in football. Um, I think the two divisions that I really will not pay any attention to is both the AFC and NFC South.
Yeah, AFC
I think
South, you
those
got. Well, that's
are
not
no
true.
good.
I think that Cam Ward could make the Titans a bit more interesting. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think.
Yeah, he could make them interesting. I
Yeah.
could see that.
Yeah. So we'll have
I
to wait
think
and see how that plays out.
I just don't think their defense is good enough.
No, for sure not. For sure not.
Like I'm being honest. I don't think I can name you a single player on their defense right now off the top of my head.
Jeffrey Simmons, I think, is the only player that I can name you, but that's just because he's like the number one defensive tackle. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, on the Titans, if you can name someone outside of Jeffrey Simmons, I give you props. And you're not a Titans fan, I give you props. So
I could rattle off a few of their offensive players, but
yeah,
that's
yeah.
it.
Well, fun enough, I could have rattled off like I know Tajay Spears, I know
Tony Pollard,
Cam
Calvin
Ward.
Ridley.
Oh, that's right, Tony Pollard. I was wondering, I was like, they have a running back that they just signed from somewhere last year. I was trying to remember who it was.
Yeah,
But,
Tony
yeah.
Pollard.
Yeah,
But I do think Jacksonville could surprise people. I think if I know a lot of people think Trevor Lawrence isn't very good,
Yeah.
but I think that he can when he's playing well. I mean, he's elite. As Hendon Hooker gets sacked. I mean, dude, to be honest, I'm really not liking what I'm seeing from
Hooker.
the line, just from anyone, really.
I just realized I'm like an hour behind. They're not even letting me be live, man. Come on.
Well,
Man.
it's over. I mean, there's no way the Lions
Oof.
do anything.
Yeah.
3rd and 8, Hooker in the gun, single back left, dumps it out, and he gets Sailors gets blasted. 4th down for the Lions. I'm just going to face it. Lions could get absolutely nothing going today.
Yeah. I mean, they have the touchdown. The touchdown to
Craig Reynolds.
Yeah, I forgot. I totally forgot they scored a touchdown, honestly.
Yeah.
2-minute warning. I'm surprised they're letting a 2-minute warning happen.
This is no good. No good.
No good for sure. But this will probably be the end of the game right here. They might just kneel it out. The Chargers might just kneel it off. So once that starts happening, we'll start breaking down here. But no, yeah. So we'll do quick fire on the rest of the divisions. So we said the Jaguars could be sneaky good. The Texans, obviously, their playoff team 2 years in a row, could repeat. Obviously, they lost Stephon Diggs, but they pretty much never had him the last season. So we'll have to go and see. Nico Collins, I believe, is a top 10 receiver in the league. If you disagree with me, you're absolutely insane. Next, who do we have?
Colts.
The
Their
Colts.
quarterback room. Good thing I'm not a coach there, because I would have zero clue what to do with those two. I think that's all we really have to say about the Colts.
Yeah. Next, AFC. No, that's the AFC. NFC South. Tampa.
Tampa will be good this year. I think Tampa will win that division with ease.
Yeah, it's Tampa, Atlanta, the Panthers, who we're
And New
actually really
Orleans.
excited about. We've talked about this.
Yeah,
Excited to see if Bryce Young can build off the success he had at the end of last year, because quite honestly, seeing Bryce Young turn into the quarterback he was at the end of the year, that was, to me, that was extremely, like, it was great to watch. I always wanted Bryce Young to succeed because of the way they talked about him. And I
yeah,
know if you're a
and
fan of another
especially what
team,
we saw from him at Alabama too.
yeah, exactly.
You
Like
know,
it's in him. Like everyone knows, hey, he could do it. Like he's played the big games. He's done it before. So it was all a matter of, is he gonna gain that confidence and knowledge that he needs to dominate here in the NFL. And maybe he doesn't need to dominate. Maybe he just needs to be that game manager, like we said a backup quarterback needs to be. But we'll have to wait and see. So that's
yeah, and I think the addition of McMillan from Arizona will be really beneficial. So he's got a good group of receivers to work with, and Thielen, Xavier Legette, and um, McMillan, who they just drafted with the 6th overall pick this year. And
yeah.
I think he was by far the best receiver in this past class. I know a lot of people say Travis Hunter because he won the Heisman playing both ways, but I think Travis Hunter is a corner in the NFL. I don't think his route tree is good enough. Hendon Hooker throws an interception. So that's 5 turnovers for the Lions, and Burgess is taking this back. He intercepted it at the Chargers 5 and took it all the way back to the Lions 35. So that's going to be the game. That was horrific. I have absolutely nothing to say about that. And you can talk about how phenomenal your Chargers played.
I gotta talk about this play real quick. That was a dropped pass turn interception. That was insane. Love it again. Oh, love it. I was actually.
I just ripped it right out of his
Yeah,
hands.
no, he never caught it. He never. You watch it right here, the replay.
Yeah.
Never caught it. It just kind of fell out of his hands.
That's a pure 50-50 ball.
Yeah, and
both guys got the hands on it. Who comes down with it?
We'll talk about how impressive Trey Lance was for sure. Trey Lance absolutely out of nowhere, and it preseason, backups and stuff like that. But he had his plays. He threw the touchdown. He took one sack. He made some plays where you're just like, hey, just throw the ball away. Don't hold on to the ball too long. So what's impressive? The most impressive person that I saw today was Trey Lance. Like especially the way that we've seen how he plays. So the most disappointing player of the day, I would say, not his fault, but the most disappointing player of the day is Trey Harris. One ball thrown to him wasn't even close to him, but other than that, you never saw another target. So could it be separation issues? Could it be they just weren't looking at him? I don't know. But that for sure, the most disappointing player of the day. The best play, we'll talk about the best play. The best play of the day was definitely that KLS 28-yard separation. He was wide open. And then that touchdown, obviously, that touchdown to Keandre Lambert-Smith was great as well. Like, personally, that's someone that I'm truly rooting for to get on the team. Now, granted, I want everyone to be on the team. Almost always. I want Brendan Rice to be there. I want Keandre Lambert-Smith. I want Trey Harris. I want Omarion Hampton. Truth is, you can only have so many players on the team. So, Trey Lance, quite honestly, to me, takes QB3. Has the opportunity to fight for QB2 with the way he played tonight. But we'll have to wait and see, obviously, And then, yeah, best play of the... I think I said it. Best play of the game was that KLS touchdown for about 13, 14 yards. Worst play of the game was that throw from Trey Lance to Trey Harris, way out of bounds. And that's all I got for you guys today. How about you, Joe?
I think both rookie receivers were pretty good. It's Lambert-Smith and Tesla. I think they both looked really good. I think those are two exciting guys to look forward to. And let me give you this. Trey Lance went 13 for 20, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. And the Lions quarterbacks combined 12 for 20, 104 yards, and 3 interceptions.
Oof, that's brutal.
So, I mean, that's what a game should look like when you have 5 turnovers.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is. That's what it should look like right there.
Yeah. And not that, obviously, again, disclaimer, preseason game, first game of the season, but if you're fighting for a spot I can actually turn this off now. Hold on. When you're fighting for a spot on a team, this is not the way to do it. This is quite honestly the worst way to do it. And for Hendon Hooker and Kyle Allen, yeah, you guys better pick it up because you guys don't have many more options, honestly.
Yeah, and it's scary if Goff goes down. I mean, one of these guys is gonna have to step up. So
absolutely, and it's not gonna be a pretty sight for sure.
no.
But, I mean, like I said, for the Lions, a bright spot that I saw was Rocky Sin really, really holding down the running game when the ball went over to him. And it was definitely Isaac Tesla, and it was definitely, oh my God, we were talking about him. Oh, Craig Reynolds. But he's been a player that you said he's been, proven. So I think the only thing you can do from here is pray that the involvement of Isaac Tesla, the involvement of Rocky Sin, and hell, even Lovett, despite those 2 drops, Lovett, quite honestly, he was impressive, and you want to see.
Yeah, he had good flashes of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
So that's something that you want to keep an eye on during this preseason. But other than that, we got nothing else for you guys. That is the game. The Chargers win 34-7. Very dominant game. Lions had 5 turnovers. Chargers converted 4 of those turnovers into points. So when you do that, you start getting games like this. So thank you guys for joining us. We really appreciate it. Any closing thoughts for you, Joe?
No, I just hope it improves. That was very scary to watch. I probably would have, if I wasn't doing this, I probably would have turned it off at halftime. But, I got to see some things that I think the team can work on, and we'll see if they improve for week 2 of the preseason.
Yeah, absolutely. And just so everyone knows, football is back, baby. There is not a single weekend or week that we don't have football from now on. So enjoy it because it's only a 5-month thing, really. It's not even half a year. So enjoy it while you can. Thank you for joining us. I hope you guys all have a great day. My name is Victor Sepulveda, host of Bearded Bear Sports, and to my right I have
Joe Miller.
All right, you guys, thank you for joining, and have a good night. Later.